Crafters, good morning and welcome into Guys Craft 2. And my name is John, and I have a very special guest this morning.
Hey guys!
Danielle has agreed. We are here on Martin Luther King Day. And so this is our holiday quilting bee and just a chance for us, because Danielle and I haven't been together.
Oh my god, it's been months.
Yeah, like September maybe, or even August.
Yes, something like that. It's like early fall.
Yeah, it was crazy. So this
I
is
know it's like
our chance to
everything went crazy busy the moment the holiday season started up, and we never got the chance to reconnect again.
yeah. Isn't it? I mean, and it's just so much going on. It's like it's hard for me to believe that we're in the 20th of January. It's like, guys, really?
I feel like it was just Christmas.
Well, and that's like Christmas was almost a month ago, and it's like, really? Because what's funny, of course, I'm a big Hallmark baby, right? So Hallmark, like a week ago, took all the Christmas movies off. So I was flipping through the channels this weekend and all the Christmas movies were back on. I'm like, guys, no, like, no. Even I need a break at this point.
Oh my gosh! So I turned watching the front room the other day. Oh no, it was in the front room the other day. Me and my husband went Saturday night. We went out to a friend's house and everything to hang out, had some drinks, chill out, and everything like that. I've been in the mood because going through menopause, I was having some bad symptoms, a really bad week from it and everything. So he's like, "We're getting out of the house." I'm like, "I don't feel great." He's like, "You'll feel better once you get around people and have fun."
Yep.
He's like, "You're getting out of the house. You're getting too frumpy." And he knows. So my husband is not a pushy, controlling person, but he knows when I start getting in my frumps, no matter how much I fight with him, he's going to have to force me. He's going to have to force my hand. And then when he does, once I get there and start hanging out with people, I always get in a better mood and I always wind up in better spirits and feeling great afterwards, which I did. It's so funny. I woke up Sunday and had no symptoms whatsoever. Felt great. I'm like, but oh my gosh, so we got there and they're trying to get the TV to work from upstairs down into the basement so we could watch the game.
Yep.
And which was a horrible game, but it is what it is. So we get down there and everything, and they couldn't get it to work. It just kept playing Christmas music. I'm like,
No
turn it off,
way.
turn it off.
And and that's the thing. I love Christmas. I love Christmas music. But it's like by the end of the year, I'm done with it, right? I don't even have to like stop on the 26th, but
Yeah, by the
January
time
1st.
I got done with my 31 days of quilt miss, I'm like, I'm done. I'm tired.
Yep. Yep. Well, and that's what's funny because I went through the whole house yesterday and I went to get in bed last night and I was like, oh crap, I still have that Christmas tree to take down. I still have the one Christmas tree in the master bedroom. I'm like, how have I not taken you down yet?
Yeah, I still got to buy a small tote to put all my Christmas decorations for in here in because all the stuff I did for Christmas, like I had 31 Christmas headbands over here.
No way.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, look at this. Bring you guys up so y'all don't see all the mess on the floor. See all that red and green right there? That is
Yeah.
31 headbands.
Gosh. And it's too much work, right? I mean, you want to make sure you protect them and take care of them.
Yeah, I'm like, I spent a lot of money in Christmas and Halloween this year or last year. So I'm like, we are reusing this.
Yeah, I remember some Halloween costumes coming out. They were pretty cool.
Yeah. My husband's like, what do you keep having Amazon delivering? I'm like, it's stuff from my show.
My next door neighbors, of course, I live in a retirement community, right? But between Amazon and Walmart Plus and Missouri Star Quilt and Fat Quarter Shop, and I always have a ton of boxes out front, and all my neighbors are like, "So where do you put stuff?" Like, because every garbage day we see another 10 boxes out there, and I'm like, why do you all worry about it? Y'all got to worry about other things. Quit worrying about where I'm putting stuff.
Like, isn't it your medication time?
Oh,
So my next door neighbor, she's an elderly woman. I've adopted her as my grandma.
yep.
And he goes, every time I see an Amazon truck come by, I know it's stopping at your house.
So I was standing outside talking to my neighbor across the street the other day, and he's just such a super nice guy. And here comes Amazon, and he goes, "Well," he said, "some days we take bets how many packages you get." He's dropping 1, 2, 3, and he pulls around the corner, gets out, and walks up and sets the package on his porch. And I said, "Well, that's what you get for being a smart." Sometimes missed my house completely. So you just never know.
Oh my
Donnell,
goodness gracious.
look at the chat. We have people.
I
with
know.
us this
This is going
morning.
crazy today.
So, Living and Crafting with MS is here. Good morning.
Yep. And that is Alex.
Alice, thank you. See, it would be great if I could remember names. Isn't that awful?
There is certain screen names I see a lot and everything where I can be able to remember it.
Oh,
But if I don't see them all the time, I will not remember.
yeah, it's awful for me. I work in HR. You would think an HR person would learn names. No. I used to tell people, you don't want me to remember your names because that means you've been a big problem.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, the only way you should be able to remember names as HR is that they're the problem child.
Yep. And I knew a lot of those. A New York Beauty is here this morning. Good morning.
That is Big Brother Mike.
Ah, look at Big Brother Mike. Thanks for being here. Jean E is here from the Bay Area. She says it's not too cold over there, but it's cloudy, but no snow. I've been to the Bay Area in July and had to go down to the little tourist trap and get a hoodie because it was cold.
See, don't even talk to me about cold and a hoodie. Dude, I'm in Michigan. We have 6 degrees and ice outside.
No.
Yes. So we had snow and everything covering everything. About good 3 to 4 inches, I would guess. And then one day it decided to rain all day long. And I'm like, oh, that's so going to be frozen over tonight. My son instantly went outside and put salt down. Thankfully he did because it kept it from getting icy all over the steps and the porch and everything. Because last year when we had all that snow and then ice falling on top of it, or rain falling on top of it, it was raining, which froze over, and then snowed on top of that. I went outside and fell on the steps, wound up getting a concussion from hitting. My head literally bounced off the porch.
No.
Yeah, because we got cameras on our front porch. So I went back and watched it. Actually watched my head bounce off of the porch.
Oh my gosh.
I sat there and started crying from watching the video. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's funny because we went to the park home this weekend because winter hasn't quite set into Arizona. So up there it was in the 50s this weekend, where if I stayed in the valley, it would have been in the 60s. But got up yesterday morning and I was like, okay, I want to get back early to the valley because I've got this to do, this to do, this to do, this to do. So it left up there like at 6:30 yesterday morning and went out and got in the car and it was like 29 degrees. And I'm like, yeah, see, this is not fun. This is why I don't come up here in the wintertime because I don't like 29.
Yeah, I don't like cold at all.
I don't
Me and
either.
cold do not get along, especially after having my back issues. I don't like cold, period.
And I was like, and in the car, I'm turning on I have heated leather seats and, I'm turning the heat on, which seems to take forever to warm up in an electric car. And then I'm looking and I'm like, okay, really? They did not put a heated steering wheel in this car?
Oh my gosh. So my caddy has a heated steering wheel. I got heated seats, heated steering wheel, and then in summertime it also has AC seats. I'm like, oh, I so bougie now. I love this.
we do get very spoiled in our little cars now, don't we?
We do. I'm like, my Avalanches never had this.
Yep. Jeannie's here this morning. Jen Carabardi is here this morning.
Ooh, hey guys.
Is here. BBMK's from Phoenix. She's in the valley. She's experiencing cold this morning, Danielle, because it's cold here this morning. Let's see what it is.
California and all those states over there that don't normally get it, they're getting it this year. Like even Texas got snow.
So we're 39 in the valley this morning. We think that's very cold, Donnell.
See, to me, that would be like a hoodie. Where right now, my zipper this winter, my zipper on my winter coat, which is a mossy oak, pink camo coat, the zipper broke on me. So instead of bringing it in here and just replacing my zipper, I've been wearing my husband's big, huge coat. So I go out there looking like a little kid, wearing my husband's big, huge coat because it comes down past my hands. It's like it like comes down to like right here on me.
Oh, wow.
So my husband's like, "Have you fixed your zipper yet?" "No, I'm just wearing yours to take the dogs out." It's like the hood comes down to right here. So when I put my face down, I have like a little slit where I can see the dogs and what they're doing, where there's like the coat comes up to here and down to here. So I got just enough to see.
It just, I don't want to ever be cold again. It's just like, it's just weird. I mean, I just have, of course, I went to Kansas City for Hallmark, which turned out to be much, much cold. It was 9 degrees the day I landed. Now it got warmer the rest of the weekend, but still, I mean, that's a slap in the face. I had shorts and a t-shirt on because it was 76 when I got on the plane. So, it's like, okay, no, 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 this is not happening to me. And everybody goes, well, why would you pick December to go to Kansas City? I'm like, that's when Hallmark decided to have the Christmas experience. It's not that I chose to go there. I guess I did, but you know how that works. Hey, Brian's on this morning. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, guys.
Balloonist is on from Tucson, and she's putting the camper on her truck because she's getting ready to go to Road to California.
Oh wow. I still wanted to go for that and everything because they had the whole Prince exhibit this year.
Oh, did they really?
Yes, they have it. They're having so this year in California and everything at the Road to California Quilt show. They're having like an entire section there dedicated to Prince. And I'm like, I
Wow.
so wanted to go, but I didn't have the money for the plane and the stay and plus the cost of being there. And I've never been to California. So I'm like, which means I'd have to take my husband because I'm not going by myself, which means an extra ticket, extra food, time off work. I'm like,
It adds up. It's crazy because I've got so I'm doing QuiltCon, obviously, because it's in Phoenix, but I ended up cutting back. And I'm
I've
just going on
never been
Saturday.
to a quilt show in my life.
See, I've only been to like the small local ones, so I'm excited to go to QuiltCon. But I thought, you know what? Originally, I'd planned to go down, spend the nights, go all 3 days, and I thought I can spend a lot of money in one day. I really don't need to go for 2 and 3 days. I looked at the lectures. I wasn't impressed with some of the lectures. It just wasn't things that interested me. I wanted EQ8. I wanted the QCT software, and
Oh, I
and
love my
none of
EQ8.
and none of those are doing lectures or doing anything at the show. So it was like, okay, well, you're not offering any classes or anything to me that. So literally, all I'm going to go do is the quilt show and that's fine. Um, so I ended up cutting way back on that, and then my plan is to go to Road to California next year because I get to meet Sally and a bunch of folks up there. So, and for us, it's only about a 4.5, 5 hour drive, so we can drive it or fly it.
Yeah, see, they don't ever do like those big quilt shows up here and everything because it's too cold.
It's too cold up here. You crazy? You think we gonna come
Well,
up there in the snow?
well, I mean, we come down there to you guys' heat.
Maybe they should do one like in July because you do have a gorgeous summer typically,
Yes. Yeah, without the tornadoes and the hurricanes.
and the humidity.
Yes.
Best I remember, Michigan doesn't even get humid like it does down in the south.
No, I mean, we'll have like hot days where it's like 80s, 90s, but nowhere near bad like it gets down in like Tennessee and all those other lower states and everything get. We don't get like that 130-degree temperature.
I was gonna say because being from Tennessee, right? What humidity and all that is.
I
So
grew up in Tennessee. I was born in Detroit. When I was 9 months old, my mom moved me down to Tennessee because her and my dad got divorced, and she went down there to be with family. So we lived down there until I was 18 years old. When I graduated, right after I turned 18, like a month after I turned 18, we
mhm.
moved back up here to be by my grandmother, my mom's mom. And so it was like a huge culture shock for me. So I went from living in Tennessee, where the school went from kindergarten to 12th grade down 3 hallways, to being up here where there's 3 different buildings for based upon what grade you're in. I'm like, what's this? And you can walk to everything? I'm like, that exists? Where
So
down there is like, to get to the closest place and everything, you had to drive 30 minutes.
oh yeah. So Danielle, if I tell you you're acting froggy this morning, you know what that means, right?
Yes.
I have a new special friend. He keeps telling me, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I said something this morning and he goes, I've never heard that. I was like, okay, us Southerners, we have a lot of way. Oh, I told him not to take a wooden nickel. He goes, I've never heard that expression. I was
See,
like,
my mom always goes, my mom, I always grew up with my mom saying, like, anytime I get way too sad, she goes, oh, you want to get froggy, huh?
right? See, I mean, and I didn't realize like that's a Southern expression, apparently. I mean, I was like,
I mean, when I was in trouble, my mom made me go out and get my own switch to whip me with.
I remember that too. You go out and pick the one you want. I
I
remember
thought I
that.
would be sassy once and bring back some grass blades. No, she bound those together and got me with that. That hurt worse than the switch. Just to
We
let you
did
know.
learn. Yeah, we did learn, right? I mean, we all thought we outsmarted them at some point, but we knew we didn't, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I spent every other weekend grounded. It was
You
like
know,
clockwork.
somehow I just believe that.
And it's so funny because we lived in a trailer, and all of us kids in the trailer park would get together outside in the field beside of us and everything and play. I could see the field from my bedroom. So I would open my window and just climb out and go play. My mom got smart. She goes, what the are you doing? Get your back in this house. I went to my room like you told me to. You never said anything about staying or how long I had to stay. You just said
That's
go
because
there.
you just forgot to say stay in your room, right?
I was always finding the loophole. I drove my mother a baddie. I swear to God. She says every one of her very first gray hair, she named after me because it was like one long one that went right down the middle.
It's just crazy, crazy. All right, Katie Crafts is here this morning, and Jackie from DBD Stitch Art is here. She's in Tempe, so she's got some nice weather this morning. Joydy's here. We always like when Joydy drops in, don't we? And
Oh,
she
I
goes, and
love Auntie
Joydy got,
Joydy Lita.
and she says, "Brr."
Yeah, Alex,
Um,
living and crafting with MS, says, I feel you, Donnell. Looks like it's going to be in the negatives this week. I'm hoping it warms up on Saturday for my birthday. So happy early birthday.
oh, happy birthday! That's always an exciting time. Of course,
Definitely.
I've repeated a few of them a few years, which helps. So if you just keep celebrating the same birthday a couple of years in a row, then that way you don't age as fast.
Well, see, I don't do birthdays anymore. I do anniversaries of my 25th.
I like that.
It's a way of making me still feel like I'm young without admitting the exact number out loud.
Mm-mm-mm. Oh, Jen says we're supposed to get snow in Houston tonight.
Oh, wow.
Crazy as that. All right. Trying to catch up. We got way behind on chat. You and I chat very well together, don't we?
Yes, we do. We wind up, I think keeping up with chat when we're hanging out together is almost like hopeless because we always wind up out on some tangent on something.
Right? That's so crazy. Jody says, what is everyone working on today?
I am working on, let's see if I can find the paper for it, the right one. So it is a quilt pattern that I started recently and everything that was designed for me by Mama J Enterprises, Andrea Jamais. And this is what it's going to look like. It's my initials.
Oh, it is.
And since I'm a beekeeper, so this is actually something I dreamt. And I was talking to her because I knew she designed patterns and everything since I was one of her testers. And I'm like, I had this dream about this, but I can't seem to figure out how to get it from my head onto paper in a pattern. I'm like, I don't want a huge quilt, but like a wall hanging behind me or something. So she designed it, and because I'm like, it was like my honeybee in my dream, my honeybees had formed my initials. And so she used the honeycomb as the background and honeybees flying around to make my initials for me.
So you've got one bee done right behind you.
Well, he's not completely done, but we got a large portion of him done up yesterday. This right here is like one block.
Okay.
So this
Oh,
is
is
two
it
blocks
really?
right here. These are 1.5-inch squares.
No.
Yes.
That's little bitty sewing.
Yeah, so I already have a bunch already cut up. So I'm using this fabric here and this to create the honeycomb.
I like that fabric.
Oh, I love it. It's Joanne Fabrics. And
But
then
it's
I'm
not
using,
so yellow. It's that yellowish gold, which really just works, right?
so then I'm using this here. And if you look, it's got honeybees on it.
Oh, it does.
Honeybees with honeycomb. So I'm using that as the actual honeybees. And then, so white eye and white stars for the background, or for the wings, not background.
Wow. Look at you go, girl. I'm doing simple. I'm still working on placemats.
I was like, well, I'm like, I've really been getting into this. So I'm like, I'm going to keep going on this. Hey, Becky Morton, good morning to you.
I've been lazy this morning. I hadn't even got things started yet. See, it's only 8:30 here.
Oh, see, I got up at 8 o'clock and by 9 o'clock, I was already up, dressed, had the dogs fed, coffee made. They've been outside and went potty. And I was sitting down, shooting the, you know what, with my oldest one. And then, and so I just sat there until about 9:25, and then I went and put my face on and pulled my hair back. Let's see. Yeah, this is the yellow portion of the bee fabric.
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah. And then the black is exactly the same, but has the black background instead of the yellow.
And AccuQuilt has a honeybee dye.
Now you're going to make me go buy another dye? Guys, this man lured me into AccuQuilt. Look at what he did to me.
But how adorable is that gnome?
I'm like, I have so many plans for him, but I got to get a few things off my plate before I get started with him. Before I break the seal on him, I decided I'm getting a few things taken care of first, because I know once I break the seal on him, I'm not going to put him down.
So, I like gnomes.
Yes, you're the one that actually showed me that die originally.
Yes. So, and I like crafting. I like doing a variety of different things. So, YouTube is a bad thing. I don't think it's always beneficial. So I'm watching YouTube the other day,
You're
and
not supposed to watch other channels.
gosh, yeah, it's like, and different things pop up in your feed, right? So, because I do a lot of different crafts,
Yes.
so a core rug, right? Those outdoor rugs popped up, and this woman did a welcome mat with this big, huge gnome standing right over top of it. And I thought, oh my God, that's too adorable. Well, let's see. I have the cricket. Oh, she got it off Creative Fabrica. Oh, I have a license to that. Oh, I have that. So of course now I've bought the paint. I've bought all the new stencils. I had to special order the rugs because I went to At Home to get them, and apparently they're out of the plain ones. So I had to order those off Walmart last night. So they'll be here today. And I'm like, I really did not need yet another you know, another thing to start, but I really felt like I needed, like I had to have that welcome gnome um, doormat. So, yeah. And just to make it all good, I went on and ordered 8 because I thought, well, if I do one, I'll probably want to do some different ones for different seasons. So,
Well, yeah, you got to have one to match every season or every holiday. And
yeah. So my new
you know,
friends were like, did you really order 8? Like you couldn't have done just one? And I was like, well, it took 6 to get free shipping. So, I just put a couple extra in for good measure.
I mean, at that, why not just go all the way?
So I was like, oh, so now that's why Joydy goes, I really want to see his garage one day. I was like, you really don't. It's very, very organized, but it's like, it unfortunately, you just don't know what John will be working on or doing because it's the way John's mind works.
Oh, see, now we're going to get into yesterday. So yesterday, I had it scheduled all week long. I was going to do my slow stitching Sunday like I always do.
Yep.
Everybody logs on yesterday, and at 9 o'clock in the morning yesterday, I went and changed it to doing this. Because I was going through some bad hot flash spells this week. And I was like, I really don't feel like being covered up in a big, huge quilt during my live stream dying. I'm like, I just don't see that happening. I'm like, I don't want witnesses to me going through the middle of a bad spell on camera.
There's just so much, and the problem is there's just so much to get done. It's like I'm excited for QuiltCon, but then I think, oh, that's just going to come with more projects and more things to do. So
Yeah, it's like I like going into everybody else's chat and saying hi and everything. I just try not to really focus too much on what they're doing, but otherwise I know I'm gonna squirrel.
well, and that's why I'm sitting there and I thought, it would really be so nice to have. I'm just so tired of having bad fruit and vegetables. And so, I've got friends that go, well, we could grow our own vegetables and that. And so went last weekend or 2 weekends ago to Lowe's and bought tomato pots and all this stuff so I could grow my own vegetables, which then leads into the neighbor across the street going, well, I don't know why you did that because we have, it's like a community garden, but it's not. It's called the Agricultural Club.
Yes.
And you go down, it's got this huge offset where they've built out all these cages, and you basically purchase a cage, and inside you have, you put your either raised beds in or whatever you want, and grow, and everybody helps everybody. It's so fun, and I ended up down there the other day, and I'm like, what on earth am I doing? Like, I don't need. And then I justify it because it's like, well, but I never leave property, right? Like, I really am a homebody, but a homebody to me is our compound. So as long as I can do everything on the golf cart, it's not like leaving home.
Hey, Charlotte and John Hare and Katie from Greenland Quilter.
Man.
We got a bunch more people coming in. Joyce JK.
We do.
So I have 2 viewers and everything that I have. There's a Joyce Hernandez and a Joyce JK Klein Atlan. I know I said that wrong. Sorry, Joyce. But just that's just the way my brain breaks it down. And so I always call one Joyce and one Joyce JK because that's how my brain differentiates who they are. Because otherwise I'm like, did I already say hi to this one? It's like either that or I go Joyce 1 and Joyce 2. But I'm like, okay, well then how do I I don't want to make one feel bad because one being choice too. So it's like choice and choice JK.
But see, it works for us, right? That just for
Yeah.
some reason that makes sense in our mind. I remember I taught middle school for 3 years at a private Christian school, and I had
Oh
some of the best
wow.
kids in the world, and I loved being a teacher. Of course, you just can't eat if you're going, do that. But I loved teaching. I loved having my kids in that. And I remember one day I went in, and all my little sixth grade girls were having a battle. And one was crying, one was upset, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not that late to class. Like, what is going on?" And it's like, I don't know. Susie picked her. Susie said this is her nickname, and I was like, "Okay, so what is the deal?" Well, no, you've never given her a nickname, and until you give her a nickname, it doesn't count. Only you can give us nicknames. I thought, girls, I gave you nicknames because I couldn't always remember your birth name, so I just used to make things
See, that's why I go with sweetie, hon, babe, love.
right.
That is my generic way, my Southern generic way of making you feel special and acknowledging you, even when I cannot remember your name. Everybody is hon or babe.
Yeah.
And to anyone that ever gets offended by that, I'm very sorry. Nothing ever meant by it. And I'm not flirting.
Yeah, because nowadays, right? I mean,
Yeah, you had to actually come out and specify because otherwise you never know who's going to take it seriously or not.
it's just so crazy. That's
It's like
like I
no, it's a Southern thing. Everybody is hon and babe and sweetheart.
well, and it's funny because of course I was raised in Kentucky, so we had I grew up with a lot of people that drank sweet tea. We never drank sweet tea. My parents didn't like sweet tea, so we always had um, plain tea. So that's all I ever knew. But I knew plenty of people drank sweet tea. So I remember when we first went to South Carolina and we were sitting in a restaurant, I ordered tea. And I remember the waitress just kind of looked at me and she goes, "Did you want sweet tea?" Or she said, "Did you want unsweet or tea syrup?" And I was like, "Well, let's go with unsweet since I don't know what tea syrup is." And tea syrup is you put enough sugar in while the tea is still hot that it kind of gets syrupy. So that's what they drink in South Carolina, not just sweet tea, but
Oh
enough that it
wow!
puts
I
you
would
in
have
a
never guessed. I
right.
would have never known that.
It puts you in a diabetic coma. It's like okay, no,
So
that is
like
just
they
so wrong,
so like some people is Kool-Aid.
right? It's like, oh, I can't imagine. Yeah, it was funny. I remember our kids. We used to put a third cup of sugar in Kool Aid. And I remember every now and then the neighbor kids or something would come over and go, "What's wrong with your all's Kool-Aid? It's just nasty." I'm like, "Oh, we didn't raise our kids on just pure sugar, so
See, everybody, well, not everybody, but like Michelle's Crescent Moore and Mama Debbie within Quote Fact, they pick on me as well as a few others because they say I don't drink coffee. I drink sw- coffee flavored creamer
mm-hmm.
because I'm like, I like I like my coffee sweet. And I'm like, it's not that. I'm like, I gotta keep my sweetness level up. How do y'all think I stay so sweet?
You
I'm
just
like, it
like
takes a lot of work to stay this sweet.
you just put coffee in there to warm up your creamer. I get it.
I put coffee in, and then there goes Michelle in the chat. I knew you were lurking, girlfriend,
It's coffee
because you
flavored
don't drink
creamer.
coffee. It is coffee flavored creamer.
I like that.
It is. I poured it from the coffee cup after I brewed it. It is coffee. Just because I don't like mine where the Trump puts hair on my chest, that don't mean nothing.
I like Melissa says, that's the way it is in Georgia. I have to order Yankee iced tea so it's unsweetened. Mm. It's all what we get used to, right?
Yup.
Jackie says, I don't drink coffee at all. It gives me migraines. I drink,
Oh, see, I get migraines if I don't drink it from the lack of caffeine. My
so
I went from my entire childhood surviving and living off of Mountain Dew. From like I would wake up and have the night before's Mountain Dew that I didn't finish in the 20-ounce bottle or 1-liter bottle still sitting beside my bed. And I would, before I even raised up, I would take the cap off and take a swig in order to get out of the bed.
No way.
Yes. So that is what I always function off of, is all that extreme caffeine and sugar. And then I try and get off of that and was drinking other pops all day long. Now I don't drink any pop at all. Once in a blue moon, I might have like a Dr. Pepper or a Sprite whenever I get the taste for it, but it's just like one glass and that's it. So now all I do is I drink my coffee in the morning and then I drink straight up tap water or water from the fridge door all day long.
How crazy is that? Stephanie from Stephanie Stitches is here this morning. Good morning,
Yay,
Miss
hi,
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
I got to meet Stephanie over New Year's Eve. She is an absolute sweetheart.
Awesome sauce.
It's fun when we get to meet our YouTube family, you know?
Yes. Oh, I met Mitzi, the quilter, a while back and everything and all. Because she comes up to Michigan occasionally because she's got family here.
Oh, okay.
So we met up and everything. It was a few months back and it was so much fun. We tried and hung out at Joann's and all and may have done some shopping.
Yeah, I run into BBMK every now and then at 35th, which is our big quilt store. And I know her husband's like, yeah, this is not going to be good for me.
Yeah, I actually found out there is a quilter, one of my viewers, that's currently in Florida visiting family, but normally lives, but like whenever they're up here, live like literally 10 minutes from my house, if that.
No.
Yes. I'm like, so cool.
It is
Because
cool.
they had asked for my address so that way they're, because I'm doing like this little thing right now on my channel where, and I'm going to be starting to put that together here soon, probably this week and everything. But I'm asking for anyone that wants to help out and everything and all. Because my mom has cirrhosis of the liver because she spent a large portion of her life, like my grandmother, as an alcoholic. So she developed cirrhosis of the liver, and she now has been diagnosed, which she's been keeping under control. It's been staying very mild and everything, hardly any symptoms and all, since they got it under control. Blood levels all perfect and everything. But now she's gotten diagnosed with liver cancer.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And they're hoping that it's early enough stage where they can do something about it, but they got to do a little bit more testing. They're going to be doing that early February. They attempted a biopsy, but the biopsy did not work because of where the tumor was located at and everything. They were not able to get a good sample of because it was too much of a risk since it was like it's up high on the liver. So it was too much of a risk of puncturing the lung. So they backed away and decided not to do that. They're just going to do a MRI with contrast, which will give them the vascularization characteristics of it so that whether they can know what they're dealing with. And so I've been asking anyone, because Mama Debbie through a Quilt Fact had this idea that if anyone wanted to, they could send me 5-inch squares, sign their name on it or write their name on it or embroider it however they want to do it, set it. If they use ink and everything like a Sharpie or a micron pen, then they could set it with a hot iron so that way there doesn't bleed. And then I'm going to put these 5-inch squares all together in a hodgepodge and create I'm going to have a nice embroidered big one and everything in the center that I'm going to make for Mom. And then present it to her as a prayer quilt while she's going through treatments.
Oh, that's such a great idea.
Yeah, because even once we get the cancer resolved, hopefully we can. But once we do, then they're going to be looking at doing a liver transplant because of the cirrhosis. Because it's gotten to a point where her spleen, they found out that now the spleen is getting dumped. All the platelets, I think they said, is getting dumped into her spleen, causing her spleen to be very enlarged. So your spleen is supposed to be the size of your fist. And now it's like this big.
Oh my gosh.
It's like super enlarged.
Wow.
And they're concerned about that because her platelet counts are always dropping and everything, and all it's dangerous levels. So just a big huge storm going on. So it's like, okay, so had a viewer ask me for my mailing address so that way they could send me the 5-inch squares, and when I gave it to her, she goes, girl, I'm right around the corner from you. She's like, if I was there, she goes, I would just drive it to you.
How crazy is that?
Right?
Yeah, so it's fun because like BBMK I met last February. God, it's almost been a year. Because we have a local quilt show every other year. And her husband actually came to the quilt show, which was really cool. So I got to meet her. I got to run into her a few times now down at the quilt store. So it's fun, you know. I mean, having
I love it. I love being able to meet up with our viewers and actually be able to put a face to the name that you see all the time, that you're talking to through the chat all the time.
Well, and Stephanie is just such an amazing person. I've learned so much watching her channel, and I mean, you know, she's between designing, quilts and all that. It's just she's just such a fun, sweet person. And then it's more fun when you meet them in person and go, "Oh my God, you're just like your channel." Like, I mean,
yes,
just nice, just friendly, just gives you a big hug, and it's like, oh wow. I mean, when I say I love my YouTube family, that's true. I mean, it's just we really have become family. It's crazy.
yeah. I mean, my YouTube family know me better than what some of my biological family does.
Yep.
They see my hardships. They see my crazy.
Yes, we have seen your crazy. I'll attest to seeing the crazy.
I don't have to be scared to show my crazy.
Yep.
Where with like certain family members, you had to like hide certain crazy because it's like otherwise you got the you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. It's like shut up.
Let's see who else joined us. We're so behind in chat. We've been. Oh, Jackie says I can drink British black tea, not as much caffeine as coffee. I'm trying to scroll up because we really have missed so much.
Yeah, we've
Dixie
missed like
Quilter
almost
says,
actually the
reading
entire
through
chat.
the chat, my Minnesota is so cold. Oh my goodness, I think it's about 40 to 50 here. Can't imagine it being so cold. So I'm assuming Dixie Quilters must be down in the South because of Dixie.
I would assume so.
Yes. Stephanie
Ooh,
says
Melissa says she got to meet Stephanie at QuiltCon last year.
Yeah, see? It's fun when we get together.
And Melissa has a son that lives up here right by me, like 20 minutes from me.
Oh, look at this. New York Beauty says Donnell is not cray-cray at all.
He's delusional.
I was going to say, I've watched her channel. I kind of know some things.
Oh, see, he's one of my moderators, so he's being sarcastic.
Oh. I need a moderator. I never have gotten a moderator.
Well, you could always make me a moderator.
I may have to do that. We need to talk.
Yes.
Janet says it's bitter cold here, -6, but it feels like it's -26 with the wind chill. See, I would just stay inside. I would never go outside.
Yeah, if you want to put us into negatives, like we're 6 degrees right now, not including wind chill. I was scared to look to see what it was with wind chill. Because see, my husband and son are really, my husband, well, actually both my sons, but the one that lives here, which is my oldest, they're both very, very, very huge into technology. And so my husband hooked up a weather station to the top of our roof of our house that gives us the exact temperature and wind chill and everything, lets us know when storms are coming and everything.
And I got to meet Ingrid at the New Year's Eve retreat too. I always forget to call her out.
Hey, Janet. Janet Cromwell is here, and Teresa Lynch.
Ingrid was there with Stephanie. they came in together. She was fun to meet. She took care of me. She filled up my pins for me. So,
Aw.
so I had my acorn stuff. It was cute.
Mike, I just seen your message in the Facebook chat come across the bottom of my screen. They always try to sneak a little comment into the Facebook chat whenever my members or or some of my crazies and everything, and I'll like to sneak a little comment in there whenever I'm live, and I can always see it pop up on the bottom of my screen.
Yeah, see, I've got a couple of friends, and Russ is one of them. He'll text me during a live, and it's like, dude, I'm technology challenged. So I'm already having enough trouble between YouTube and Nightbot and trying to keep my mind flowing and not go, And then people start texting me. I'm like, no, I've got to. My daughter texted me last night to ask me a question. And I said, why is it you don't watch my YouTube channel yet? Every Sunday during my live, you text me. She never misses texting me during my live. And she goes, I don't know. It must be just the time I always think about you. I'm like, yeah. See, I want to go, oh, that's sweet. And I'm like, really, girlfriend? You can't set your clock to say bed's tied up for an hour?
See, my mom, I had to fix up my mom's phone. So that way there she got so that way there she was subscribed to me and got notifications. And whenever I'm live, and she always, even when she's at work, she pops in to say hi to everybody. So imagine me trying to keep this whole prayer quilt thing a secret from her when she has access to my channel.
Oh yeah. See, that's a nice thing. Like none of my family, they all subscribe to help me with numbers early on, but then none of them ever watch my channel, except one. My nephew's wife never misses my show, so it's always funny. I know because she watches. I think she said during lunch or something at work, because she always watches the replay. And I thought, okay, she's the only one. She's the only other person in the family that probably knows what's going on in my life. And I know when I ever mention the family, she has got to just sit there and laugh and go, yeah. Like they have no idea what he shares or what he talks about.
Ooh, South Dakota's -8 right now.
She said, I'd rather say it's time for the Southern girl to go visit the South.
See, I'm still up. I'm still waiting for someone to vouch to go with me and everything. I'm ready to go to the equator. You can't get any warmer.
Right? That's the thought. Ingrid says, I love the acorn pen. Krista makes some beautiful stuff. She did.
Ooh,
So I got,
look at what I got. This was actually gifted to me this year.
oh, do you like it?
I absolutely love it. So it went empty, and now I bought on Amazon. I bought this here
Yeah, I've got Best
off
Press.
of Amazon. So I'm like, okay, well, we're going to use this. And so I just refilled my pen with this here. I keep it right down below my table here.
No kidding.
And that's what I use for doing like my scenes and everything. And I absolutely love it.
Yep. Krista made ours because we got them at the retreat, and mine's Tula Pink. And so it was fun that she made them out of Tula Pink fabric.
Aww.
And then she ran out of the.
I was busy looking at that and just ran my finger over with the iron.
Oh, no, don't do that. That hurts.
It did.
And but Krista ran out of the acorn refill, and so Ingrid goes, "Oh, I got some. I'll fill them up for you." So that's
See, I just refill mine with Best Press. I just pour some in there, right out of the bottle.
I think I bought a big gallon or 5-gallon or something of acorn. So.
Oh well, yeah. I was looking online. I'm like, okay, Best Press looks like a decent price.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's not like I'm gonna go to it like. I'm not like drowning the quilts or anything, just going over the seams.
Yep. Yeah, they were talking about that.
When you're doing 1.5-inch squares, you really need those flat seams.
Yes, I cannot imagine. 2.5 is my smallest so far.
That used to be my smallest, and I had Andrea challenge me. with one of the patterns I tested for her, which was 1.5. It was that Love Gnome pattern that I did.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my scenes with the best press. Look at how flat and gorgeous this is, John.
Oh, I love that. But see, that
Look at
really
the fact
does.
that, I mean, look how flat that is with that best press acorn pen.
That pen makes all the difference, doesn't it?
It does. I'm like, okay, I am never going back away. Because before that, I had never used any starch or anything like that. Never. Just use steam.
Crazy. Sorry. I forgot to push a button to turn the iron on, and I'm like, why is my iron still cold? Look, I got the Tula pink iron too because I'm just that.
That is so pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
Okay, so I have my husband picked this up for me from
Yes.
it was at a he went to a thrift shop by here that is ran by veterans.
Oh.
And so it's a organization that's called Veterans Returning Home. And they house up to 88 veterans there at a time. And so they open up a thrift store and the veterans work there, and that's how they earn their money because it's a nonprofit. So that's how they earn their money to pay for the shelter and food and stuff like that and housing and all. And then I've donated quilts there before. So when they opened that up, we went by there. My husband found this iron when they went to look for a humidifier.
Yep.
I had no idea how old this thing is, but it still had all of its original stickers on it, like this one right here.
Oh, wow.
And it had like the original sticker across the plate too. I mean, look how gorgeous this plate is.
Oh, wow.
So I don't think this thing's ever been used, and this thing works so beautifully. I'm like, I'm never buying another iron. Hey, Mona. Hey, Russ.
Russ can't be here. He went to work this morning.
Well, he here.
Oh,
Unless somebody else is logged into his Quilt Meets world.
maybe it's lunch break for Russ.
Says, hey, John, Donnell, and chat. I hope everyone is having an awesome day, even if it's a little chilly.
Aw, thank you. It is a little chilly here too, but we don't compare chili. I remember, I don't know, I lived in Phoenix like 2 years, and the last company I worked for was in an older building. And I remember I was on a conference call with someone, and they were like, so how's your day? And I was like, I'm freezing to death. It's cold here. I have 2 heaters on in my office, and that is not why I moved to Phoenix. And they were like, well, how cold is it? And I was like, well, it was 45 when I drove to work this morning. And one of the guys on the phone goes, yeah, so it's negative 18 because we're in Minneapolis. So you might want to rethink when you say code. I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't. It's all a matter of perspective.
Yes. Yeah, because I guarantee you, if we came down there and we were there for a few years, it would our perspective would completely change.
Yes. But I don't want mine to change for that because I don't ever want to have to live in that code.
No, I don't blame you. If it wasn't for my family here, I wouldn't be here. I would be back down south.
All right, what time
Like
is it?
one of my brothers still lives down south. Well, technically both my little brothers live down south in Tennessee still. And Quasar, you know, just because you're squawking and making racket does not mean mommy's going to pay you attention.
Aww.
He's over here going crazy. I know you guys can hear him. I'm just glad that my microphone does a really good job at noise cancellation because y'all can't hear how bad he is.
Does. Well, and now now is he still behind you, or is he behind the
Nope, he's right there.
Okay, that's what I thought. He used to be, but now that you've got your design board up.
But see, funny thing is, this design board, So behind this is my workbench. All it is
Oh,
just a one of those tri-folding display walls for like craft shows and all.
yeah.
And I had this piece of flannel that I bought as a design wall through. It's actually called a design wall through Missouri Star. So I bought that, planning on putting it up on this wall. Right there. I was planning on putting it on the wall right here on the other side of my computer.
Yeah.
And never got around to it because I didn't ever have the empty wall space. And I couldn't figure out how to rearrange everything in here to give me the empty space. So I decided, okay, well, we're going to set this up since I'm not doing craft shows anymore. So that way that I'm still using it. And if I want my workbench to be yucky and disgusting, cluttered up and everything piled up on it, I can toss all that back there and my viewers can't see it.
I get that. I so understand. See, I can relate. Of course, me, I like organization, but the other day I thought I've got a design board and I actually have a tripod. And I thought if I put that together just right, I could actually have that here. So, not so much to hide this, because I mean, like, it's not like everyone hadn't seen that I have too many projects going. Um, but really, just because I do need a design wall, and where I have wall space, I have furniture or something, I'd have to reach over. It's like I don't have a good place to put the wall.
Yeah. See, that's one thing I love about this one here. When I'm not using it or whenever I'm not live, if I'm not using this, I can actually fold it up and just stand it over across
Yeah.
my shelves right there for whenever I need my bench.
Yep.
Or whenever I just don't want to feel so closed in. See, what did Katie say? She says something because Jordy says, good idea, Katie. I showered early today because I want my hair to be dry when I go out in the deep freeze. Yeah, you don't want it freezing on top of your head.
No, I tell you, I wear when it gets down in the 40s, I have to have my toboggan, I have to have my scarf, I have to have my gloves, I have to have my winter parka. And then even folks here, like I go into some of these stores and that, and they look at me like I've just lost my mind. And I'm like, I am so code natured, guys. You're like, you just don't get. I am very code natured. I can't help it. I mean,
It's so funny because I just got done telling you a little while ago before we went live that I was outside taking the dogs out this morning. So my zipper on my winter coat broke, guys. And I have a sewing machine and I have the zipper. I just have not fixed it. It's been broke for like a week now. My husband keeps asking me, he's like, have you fixed it yet? Nope. I keep wearing his to take the dogs outside. And it's like you get like this little peek hole right here from where the hood comes down and the top of the coat comes up. So I'm like all bundled up and nice and warm and everything, but I got a little peephole where I can be able to see it. And I look like a little kid outside wearing his coat.
Katie says I showered early this morning because I wanted my hair dry when I go out in the deep freeze.
Yup.
Oh.
She said icicle hair is no fun.
Dixie Quilt says I got my coffee in a thermal mug, snuggled and watching some crafters. It's a good morning.
Aw. Well, we're glad that you are here watching us.
We are. All right.
And that you're all bundled up and staying warm.
So I'm gonna finish this and then we can do a first giveaway. I am doing a regifting. So I don't know where I got it. It's a Kimberbell banner, picnic banner. It's really cute, and I actually have a friend that made it and put theirs together, and I didn't. And so when I was digging through stuff to figure out what to give away today, I thought, you know what, somebody might actually appreciate that and get that project done. So let me see. We'll give that away first thing this morning.
Awesome
So
sauce. Yeah, I actually thought about duct tape. Because the problem is, it's like, at first, it was just like once in a while, the teeth were not catching on the zipper. And now it's never catching. Like yesterday, I wore it to my sister-in-law's house. He goes, isn't that the one with the zipper broke? Yep. I'm like, but it's my nicest winter coat, so I'm just wearing it and just holding it together.
All right. So this was called Red, White, and Bloom by Kimberbell. And it is all picnic oriented. And so it really is a cute pattern. It's got, I had actually thought instead of doing it as a banner, that I might actually just cut these
Oh, that is
fluffy cut them. Isn't
beautiful.
that cute? And it's
I
got the
could see that as
direction.
like tea towels.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. I thought, I don't know that I would make a banner out of it, but I really
No,
like the
that
colors in that.
that totally looks like some really gorgeous southern tea towels.
Yep. So I thought, but anyways, so needless to say, I have not gotten to that project. So I thought, you know what? I'll give that away to somebody that might appreciate it. So if you put exclamation point picnic in the chat, we will do a random drawing in a few minutes.
Yay!
So
Good luck,
exclamation point.
everybody.
It is funny as you start going through, it's like, oh my gosh, I have so many
Yes.
panels and I have so much of this and I have so many fat
Yeah,
quarters.
you're
And
like, what was I thinking?
yet I will say this morning, I have to show you what I picked. So I do want to do this tote for my granddaughter we were talking about earlier. And so I found this on Crazy Little Projects, and it's called a Kids Library Tote. And it takes about 2/3 yards of 2 different fabrics with fusible fleece. And you cut the bag about 13 by 15 inches. So I'm going to see if I don't want to do that, maybe a little bit bigger. But I have, so I haven't cut that. I brought that to maybe cut this morning. But
Awesome.
I went shopping in John's stash, and my granddaughter, fortunately, is crazy like her grandfather. So I found these fabrics I thought would make a really cute tote for her.
Oh, that is beautiful fabric. I love that purple.
And so I thought the purple would be the outside, the inside would be the florals. And then I found this that I thought would make a really cute second tote.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That is
Right.
so, it's like so 80s funky, it makes me think of. I
And
love
unfortunately,
it.
my granddaughter has my,
Like the bright neon colors.
yes. And I thought, how cute for, she's 7, right? Going to first grade. And then I found the Barbie that I had bought. And I thought, okay, well, she's got to
Ooh.
have Barbie. And I really liked this. And I have no idea why I ever bought this. But I thought that'll
And
be
see, that
cute.
goes perfect with it though. It's like
Yeah.
perfect shading to it.
So I thought, so that'll be fun. I'll get that done this morning. And we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, let's see who is going to be the first winner on Martin Luther King Day. Who's a winner? Melissa Feldhouse.
Yay, Melissa! Congratulations, Chica.
So if you would send me your address at john@guyscraft2, I will get that in the mail in the next few days.
Do you know, I actually have it set up on my StreamYard where it has like a little, I created like a little banner that has my email address. So that way they're all I can do is pop it up there and point down.
See, you frustrate me, girl, because you are so smart when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, you always have some of the coolest, and you just became a StreamYard user, right?
Yeah, well, I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary like in September, October, I think September. And I just hit my 1,000 mark like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that. Congrats. How exciting is that? You got
It
there
was very fun.
fast.
Huh?
You got there fast.
Well, I had hit the 1-year mark, and then like at the beginning of beginning of December, end of November, beginning of December, a few people I follow and everything, like So Becca and Ian, Martha's Creative Life, and Donna, Handmade by Ying, were all like, Donnell, you don't have your 1K yet? I'm like, no. They're like, how long have you been doing this? I'm like, slightly over a year. They're like, oh no, we're going to start pushing. Between all of them and Mama Debbie, So Becca put it out there, and like overnight, I had 20 subscribers.
No.
I was like, holy smokies, lady. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that is so cool. But it's like, yeah, between all of them pushing and everything, got me over and everything in like no time at all. I was like, oh my gosh. I literally sat on the couch crying.
Well, because we do put a lot of work into our channels.
We do. We put a lot of work into it, but I mean, my thought was always, it's like, yeah, it'd be nice to get there, but I'm not going to push it and everything. I'll get there when I get there, blah, blah, blah. Trying to keep myself from getting too upset with it and everything, or too stressed out from it. And then when I actually hit it, I was like, oh my God. I mean, it's like for 2 weeks, I was going crazy. Yes, and Mona also helped push. Mona, Aqua Quilta Lisa. So many people were pushing my channel, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh. It's just like all the love that I felt. It was amazing.
Well, it is, because if you're kind of like me, so I just hit 1,000, I think, in September. Um,
Oh,
and
congratulations.
thank you. But you sit back and you go, oh my gosh, like people really listen, like people are tuning in. And like this morning, we've got 47 people celebrating the holiday quilting bee with us. And how cool
Yes,
is
I
that?
threw it up on my channel yesterday so that way they'd be nice and fresh on everybody's head. I'm like, if y'all had nothing to do, come hang out with this crazy chick and John.
But it's fun. I started doing these, and I can only do them on the holidays that I have. I mean, Lord knows if
Yeah.
I was a federal employee, I'd have a lot more holidays. But it's all good, and it's like um, it's something fun. It's nice that I can go through my stash and find some stuff and re-gift things, and um, you know, help provide something that somebody else may not have, and it's just I don't know. It's just, to me, it's kind of like who we are, right? It's just we
Definitely.
celebrate
I
each other.
absolutely love it. I mean, it's so much fun being part of this community. Yes, it is a lot of work, and at times it can be stressful, but it's totally worth it because I love every moment of it.
Yeah. Well, it's like for Christmas Day, um, I ended up having 10 or 12 what I consider friends over. And we did, well, we had drinks, but we had drinks and dessert, right? And,
Uh-huh.
but I know there's friends in this community that if I didn't do that, they would have nothing to do on Christmas Day. And to me, no one should be alone all day on Christmas Day.
True.
And so I did my holiday quilting bee that morning. I ended up opening gifts with some friends after that and making a big breakfast, and then had a dinner and all that. But then it was like, okay, but the dessert didn't stress me out, right? Everybody brings a dessert, and then we can just sit around and chat and that. So it wasn't like I had to fix a big dinner or do all, but yet I knew there was folks that even if you didn't have anything to do, there was no reason you couldn't go buy a dozen cookies and just show up.
Yes. Yeah, it's like for me, it's like, okay, it's like, so I thought about going live on like Christmas Day or New Year's Day, but I was like, there's already so many that do. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't going to stress over it. But there is like, I think it was like New Year's Eve, I went live because it was like my normal day of going live. It was either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. But before I had decided to, I went to my husband and made sure that we didn't have any plans and that it was okay with him. Because I'm like, if they want family time, I'm not going to push for it. So I'm like, because hubby comes first.
Yep.
Got to keep the man of the house happy.
Well, yeah, because we all know you cray, so we know, it's like he's
Yeah, if I
put his
don't keep him
time in,
happy,
right?
then if I don't keep him happy, he doesn't keep buying me all expensive gifts.
That's right. Because the Lord knows we need our toys, I tell you.
Yes, I mean he's the one that bought. So him and our sons asked me what I wanted for Christmas this year, and I started thinking, I'm like, this would be a perfect time for me to add on some Quilt stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I added that onto my little list. Do you know that man went on there and bought every single thing on there? My son asked me to put some more stuff on there because my husband went and bought everything.
No way.
Yeah, I had like 4 dies on there.
He sounds like a keeper, Donnell.
Oh, he's definitely a keeper. He spoils me rotten. Like we were talking the other night, and years ago, he had a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I fell in love with it. It was like a 1998 or something like that, or 6, something like that. And I fell in love with it. I wanted one so much. But at the time, I was like, I'm like, I'll probably never get one, blah, 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 whatever. Because he has insomnia. He went out in the middle of the night while I was sleeping and hunted down one at a lot, and then for a surprise, took me to go look at it to make sure I wanted it before he purchased it for me.
No way.
Yeah. I'm like, it's crazy to think that you were going out in the middle of the night and finding me a Jeep.
But that's what makes special people in our lives, right? And
Yes.
it's like my niece told me the other day. She says, we had to kiss a lot of frogs to find the right one. Yeah, I know that. Melanie Taylor is here. She says, hi, everyone.
Hey, Melanie. See, Alex says, my daughter wants me to do a live, but I'm scared and don't have the stuff like StreamYard. Well, StreamYard is free.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a website. And you don't really need anything more than a cell phone. Especially when you're just starting out, I would recommend not really putting anything into it other than like just using your cell phone as a camera until you get it down pat and start getting somewhere and all with it. And if you ever want any help, I'm more than happy to sit here and help you out with it.
Yeah, so I've always used my laptop. I still use my laptop. I still use my laptop camera. Probably one of the biggest investments I made after a few shows was getting I'm going to call it a noise canceling mic, right, to help with when I run the sewing machine. So it blocks out the background noise. But other than that, I haven't invested a huge amount in technology or equipment. I'm still using my laptop that I've been using for the last year and a half.
Yeah, when I first started out, let me grab it really quick. My Surface Pro is what I used for my camera, my microphone, everything.
Yep.
I had it set up on a TV dinner tray right here, and this is what I used. And because I have like the backing for it with the keyboard that attaches and everything, now I just keep it over here on my stand to use it for as like an extra screen for me to look at whenever I go live, so I can make sure my video quality is good and everything now. Because my husband and son had watched one of my old live streams, and they're like, do you know how bad your video quality is? I'm like, no, why? And they showed it to me. I'm like, I was so close to never doing another live stream again. And he's like, nope. So as an early Christmas present that year, he went and upgraded all my technology. But I mean, that's also because he's just a big technology geek.
Yeah, but for the first month, 2 months, 3 months, you don't
Yeah,
have
I
to do
mean,
anything complicated.
until you figure out like what angles, what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to show. Like there's always going to be adjustments you want to do.
Yep.
I'm always playing with stuff to try to figure out what I want to do, what I want to change. How can I make this better? But I mean, that's just the way it goes. And I would say start off with just whatever you got right now. Yeah, Ellen says I just have my wireless microphone and I use my phone to record videos. Yeah, that's really all you need to start off.
Yep.
And I mean, you can't really do a live stream until you have like 50 subscribers on YouTube. But once you have that 50 subscribers, then you can go live. And if you're ever wanting to be a guest on my channel, I could always have you on as well.
John would say the same thing, but we know it took. How long did it take Danielle to get you on my channel?
So you tried at the last holiday, the last big holiday, or not like, I think it was like maybe Thanksgiving.
Maybe.
Or no, it wasn't Thanksgiving. It was something I had to work on. So
Oh,
it was not
Veterans
like
Day.
Thanksgiving or Christmas, huh?
Veterans Day.
Yeah, that was the last time you tried to get me on.
Yep.
Because you had offered it to me, and I was not able to do it because I had to work. Because my work is sticklers like that. They kind of like me being there.
It's just tough. I mean, it's like Russ and I have been on each other's channel. We did a sew along together. And then I started the holiday quilting bees, and then I'm working to get Sean on my channel. He's such an amazing guy.
Oh my gosh. So I had been on Sean's channel, I don't know how many times. And I've managed to get him on mine once. And that's because I kept pestering him. And because he's like, I mean, the man's a busy man. He works Monday through Friday. He's got his live stream on Saturday, and then he goes out and does family stuff. And then he does his recorded video on Sunday morning, where he's also out doing family stuff as well. So we managed to work it out to where, like, during a summertime, he was able to be on mine. Like before he got his next round of kids coming in.
Yep. Yeah, that's even worse. He trades kids twice a year or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's like every school year he gets a new set of kids.
Yeah, which is amazing, right? I mean,
I know. I gotta hand it to him because I would get too attached and wouldn't want to give them back.
Yeah, I've got friends that foster rescue Dachshunds, and they have had some of the cutest dogs that I'm like, yeah, see, it's better that I don't visit you because I would love so much to have a couple of dogs again, but until I retire, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit in my lifestyle really. I just don't want the responsibility, and it's like, but man, once I'm in someone's house and that stupid little dog comes over and lays his head on my lap or something, it's like, yeah, you think you're going home, and if you keep up, you very well may get to go home.
Yeah, see, I was out at my sister-in-law's house last night, and a few people, some of my viewers in here that know me and that are in the same Facebook chats as I am will recognize this picture. But my sister-in-law has like a whole bunch of different types of animals. She's got pigs, chickens. See, I think she's got some goats. She's got a bunny rabbit. John, this almost came home last night.
No. How adorable is that?
It is a dwarf bunny, and oh my gosh, I almost brought him home with me. I sat there for an hour cuddling up with this baby. It took everything I had not to bring it home.
And at this point, your husband just shakes his head anymore, right?
He goes, "You really thinking about bringing it home?" Yep. I'm like, he's coming. He's coming home. He's like, "Have you discussed this with Michelle yet?" Nope, but it's coming home. I'm like, he's mine. He's mine. Can't have him back. He's mine. And he just starts laughing.
My problem is like when I look out in the community and I see the coyotes walking around and I see the bobcats strolling down the street, I'm like, okay, do you really want to have to, I mean, because you just can't let animals out here. You've got to really watch them, be with them, walk, and it's like,
Yes.
I'm not ready to do that again. I mean, but
Well,
I
I mean,
miss
you
the
know me. I have my
companionship.
little Yorkie. So my baby, my little Yorkie is my baby boy, my sweet innocent baby, and I can't let him outside alone.
Yeah.
Especially since now he's gotten to a point where now he is blind, deaf for the most part, and he's going through dementia. Whereas diapers, all that stuff. So whenever I take him outside to go potty, he has to be on leash, and he does like this. He does like a 10 minutes of like this little number of going around in circles before he decides.
No.
Yeah, he goes in circles and at high speed where he gets himself all dizzy and falling over. But I've never had to leash him. And now since he's hit dementia and everything and all, I now have to leash him. And I don't like leashing him, but at the same time, I know it's for his safety because otherwise he runs off.
Right.
But I mean, before that, he never left the yard. And he's 16 years old. Well, he'll be 16 in April.
I don't know. There's nothing. I mean, I'm sure we have cat lovers on the channel, right? But
I got those two.
yeah, but there's nothing to me like the companionship of a puppy. I mean, when you talk about unconditional love, that is unconditional love.
Yes. Like I have, so I have a whole herd here. I got 2 dogs, 2 cats, and 3 birds and fish. So I'm just all the way around cat love or animal lover. And the best part is my husband's the same way. He's a huge animal lover. Which when we go to the pet store to get animal food is very dangerous. Because they got more animals there.
Yeah, I mean, there's just, I don't know. Like I said, I miss having one. And my plan is like when I finally retire, I will probably get a couple of pups. But I just, right
I mean,
now,
you just got to wait until your life is at the right moment where you can be able to devote the time and energy it takes.
yeah,
Because you can't just get one because you think that they're cute.
no, and that's my big problem. Like I am so busy. I'm always got like today. So we'll do this till 11 o'clock my time, but then I have or 10 o'clock. Right.
Yeah, I had no idea. I just told the guys, I'm like, I'll be in there for about 3 to 4 hours. I'm like, I don't know how. I'm like, he just asked me to come on with him, and I know that he normally goes long on holidays. I had no idea what time we're getting done. I'm like, when I come out, we're done.
So I already confused myself. Isn't that awful? But I this afternoon for first time officially, I'm going to go play pickleball. So I am taking my introductory lessons to learn how to play pickleball, and then I have to get back home so I can then make dinner and get things ready. And it's just like, wow, it's just like, and this is a holiday, right? So this is my relaxing day.
Is there really such a thing as a relaxing day? I mean,
my daughter goes, "You never learn to relax." I don't know why. Like, but you liked it as a kid. I was a big kid too, and I always kept us all busy and going.
it's so funny because the husband and I have been so busy this weekend. I looked at him, Friday? Yeah, Friday I looked at him. I'm like, okay, we got this going on Saturday, this going on Sunday. I'm like, what? Do we have any plans for Monday? He goes, no. I go, okay, good. I'm like, don't make any. He goes, why? What's up? I go, well, I got the live stream with John in the morning. I'm like, and then after that, I need to work on a quilt that I've been commissioned for. And it's a first cavalry quilt. So I'm going to be starting that today.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep. It's one of mine and his friends. He's a veteran. And so, and you know, I don't know if you've seen it and everything on my quilt mess videos and all, but the ones that I made the pineapple quilts for.
Yes, yes.
So that person is the veteran, and he has asked me to make the first cavalry quilt, and it's going to be the entire quilt top is that first cavalry patch.
Really?
Yeah. So my husband has a projector, and he said I talked to him, and so he's going to hook up the projector that we normally take outside to watch movies on the side of the garage.
Yep.
He's going to hook it up in the front room and hook it up to my laptop that I got the picture on, and blow it up. And I'm going to tape the fabric up onto the wall so that way there I can be able to stitch out the pieces I need to be able to applicate onto the black fabric, which would be the background. Because this patch is going to be as big as what the actual mattress is.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of work, girl.
Yeah, well, I've done one similar to that before for like the University of one of the universities. There's like a yellow and red one.
Huh.
And for a family member. But I'm like, it's gonna be fun, and it's for a friend of ours that's a veteran. So I'm like, I'm definitely not telling him no.
Now, is that considered a work in progress?
That is considered a new project, but it's a paying one. So that one gets an exception rule.
So does that mean that happens before the gnomes or after?
It happens before the gnomes. Since it's a paying one, then it happens before the gnomes, because I'm like, that's part of the business. So that one doesn't count as a part of the channel or the fun stuff. So,
but it is how we get to buy gnomes and more fun stuff.
yes, because let's see, he's already paying me 3/4 of the money, and then the rest he's paying me whenever I deliver the quilt.
Perfect.
So that way there's like, okay, a little momentum to keep me moving faster, so I can get the rest of that money. Because it's like $200 left that he still owes me and everything that he's gonna be paying me whenever I deliver it to him. So that way then I can go fabric shopping.
Money does seem to motivate us, doesn't it?
It does. A little too well.
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm like, but I want to do this.
I was so upset. Someone won the Mega Millions on Friday in Arizona. I was like, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh.
I bought my ticket, but did I win? No. And they're like, make sure you check your tickets this morning. I'm like, yeah, I checked my tickets today. Yeah. Don't worry, I've checked mine.
Yeah, you're like, I did that the moment you announced the numbers.
Yeah.
I keep telling everybody, I'm like, I just need to win the lottery. You know, that lottery that I never play?
Oh, no, I play mine because I support Arizona education. Yeah,
Yeah, but my support for Michigan education will lead me right into Michigan rehab.
I tell you, right?
Because I have a very addictive personality. So I already know if I try it, I'm going to wind up with a habit. And quilting already takes up my habit. So
It's like we don't need one more thing to get in our way, do we?
no, I've already picked up hand quilting, hand embroidery, machine embroidering, machine quilting, machine sewing. And now I'm wanting to get into like clothes making occasionally, because for Christmas I made my youngest son a pair of pajama pants.
Oh.
I'm like, so I can't afford any more crafts.
Yeah, the best thing I can do is stay away from Adam Sews because he made Tula Pink sweatshirts.
Yeah, I
And
watch him too.
yes,
He's what encouraged some of the bad habits.
right, he is. Because I had lived a whole life without Tula Pink. Now I have 2 drawers full.
And then Sean got me into Art East. So of course he had to send me the whole thing between him and Melissa Fieldhouse. I know you're listening, young lady. They both sent me the thing on 100 Acre Woods.
Oh, yeah, Winnie the Pooh. Yes,
And
I saw that.
I grew up on Winnie the Pooh. So I've not done it in a while. The only one I've gotten done was Winnie the Pooh. So I got all the other ones I still got to do. And I've been putting them all in the bin over here, and they're staring me down right now. So that's actually one of the next projects I'm going to be getting ready to cut up and work on. Yeah, I see the LOLs in there, Melissa. You see LOL.
Oh, look at her. Yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh, these people. Every time that my crew, I swear, there's certain individuals in my group that anytime they see an amazing deal on batiks, purple, gnomes, bees, they instantly send me the link. Hey, Donnell, look at this. No, I'm like, go
Mm-mm-mm.
away. Like this morning, I'm like, enable alert, enable alert.
Um, Melanie says she's finishing up a pillowcase and then she's off to do a pre-op for a procedure next week. So good luck. I hope all of that
Aw,
goes well.
I will keep you in my prayers, Melanie. Good
Mona,
morning, Regina.
oh, good morning, Regina. Thanks for being here today. Mona said her daughter loves pickleball.
I have
That's what,
never played it. I don't even know what it is, honestly.
so it's like playing ping pong on a tennis court, but you only play in the 4 squares, so you don't have that big square in the back that you have to fool with. So it's a
Okay.
smaller. And then so we went and did it for my birthday at Pickles and Chicken and Pickles, the new bar that so you go eat and then play pickleball. We had a really great time, but it's you're taking this awkward paddle because it's not like a tennis paddle, it's more like a ping pong paddle, but you're hitting it with like a wiffle ball. Oh yeah, but Melissa goes with a wiffle ball, and that's exactly what it. And it's like first time I hit it, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like it only went like 2 feet. I'm like, "Okay, well, you got to really smack this thing to get it across the." It's just a whole new experience.
Yeah, Ingrid says she got the 100 Acre Wood kit also and haven't started yet. Yeah, Ingrid, I only got the pattern and been doing it out. The only fabric I bought for it was the background. And which I bought like a 108 from several yardage of a 108 from Joanne Fabrics. And all the rest, so all the characters and bees and everything like that, and then all from my stash.
Oh no way! I didn't realize. So you didn't buy the kit?
No, I did not buy the kit. I'm only doing for my stash.
Nice.
I'm like, it'll be a great stash foster. And because I mean, I couldn't afford at the time the entire kit. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, well, I got a huge stash of like scraps and charm packs and stuff like that. I'm like, I could do this from my stash. So, I mean, it's a lot of fun to do it from your stash. I love doing projects from my stash.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get better about. Like pulling the stuff out today for the excuse me for the tote bags. I have so many kits. I have literally 9 bins. And when I say bins, I'm talking about, like the 40-quart bins, not the little bins, full of quilt kits that I've bought in the last year. And it's like, I have just got to quit buying quilt kits and start really focusing on um, project completion.
Yeah,
But,
it's super easy to get squirrely. Is the best way I can put it. It's a squirrely.
well, my problem is I get bored in the quilt store. Like I love to go pick my fabrics. I love to, find new patterns and I do all that. And then I get up to the cutting table and it's like, really, I don't want to stand here for 30 minutes and watch you cut fabric. like there's a lot more productive things in life going on. And so, it's like, okay, I just maybe if I learned a little patience would be better. But so instead I just grab the kit and go, okay, this way I don't have to stand here and wait for them to cut fabric.
Oh no, Barb Scott says, be careful. My 14-year-old great niece broke her ankle playing pickleball.
Oh my goodness. 14 years old. Oh, what about us old people?
Probably
Definitely
a
will.
hip.
Oh, goodness.
For me, it'd probably be an ankle and a hip. Because I'm just like extra clumsy. So I would wind up with a like extra break.
That's just scary though. Because I do love being active. I want to be more active. I'm trying to get back to the pool, and I haven't been. I wanted to go this past weekend, ended up not going because we have, gosh, like 8 pools here in the complex, and they keep them 83, 84 degrees year round. And but
Oh,
then we have several indoor. So because I'm a baby, I have to go to the indoor because it's
I would
too,
be definitely going to the indoor.
yeah, too
Because
cold to
for
get
me,
out.
it's not the temperature of the water, it's the temperature of the air when I get out of the water.
Right? That's what drives me nuts. I watch these people like the other day. One of my friends posted on Facebook because he was down at the pool and doing the walking pool, and he goes, "I'm sitting here in the hot tub watching the sunrise," and I'm like, "Dude, it is literally like 48 or something outside." It's like I would die to have to get out of that pool. I am a big baby, and so I
No,
would,
thank you.
yeah. I was like, I get that the sauna water's hot, but I'd have to end up getting out at some point, and that just wouldn't happen for me.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna have to bring a space heater over to me to get out, which then is not safe. And yes, Jackie, I did start the lion. So the legit kit lion. So Jackie's asking, no, didn't you do the Detroit lion from your stash? So there is a legit kit lion that I started from my stash. I have not finished it yet, and that will be getting worked on Wednesday nights and everything and all. So I'm gonna do 1 week because Wednesdays I do my FPP gnomes. Didn't know if you know that or not, John, but
No, I didn't know that.
oh, so let me grab the bend because I'm like, I don't really ever remember seeing you on there watching me.
Yeah, because I can tell you during the week is just impossible for me anymore.
Oh, I hear ya. So, okay, I may have been a little busy.
No way.
So here's the one I just finished, and
Oh,
it's
look
a
at the
quilting
purple.
gnome. So every month I pick 4 gnomes from this Etsy shop. They're $3 patterns.
Oh, no kidding.
And it comes out to like a 7.5 by 7.5 inch square.
Oh, I like the coffee cup.
Yeah, so there's a little coffee gnome. I made it kind of look like like one of those little to-go cups. And then, of course, since I'm from Michigan, and in October, I did the whole like football gnome in Michigan fabrics.
Oh, how cute is that?
And then I got a honeybee gnome.
Well, of course you do. He's cute.
That was the very first one I did. And the antenna and the flower stem are both embroidered. So sometimes they have like little things where you can try and like accentuate it and everything. So, but yeah, I started this like, was it, I think like September, October, something like that. I think right at the end of September, I started it. So I'm actually
Mm-mm-mm.
working on finishing up that one right now that I just did this past week because I started on my live stream and then I go and finish it afterwards and show it the following week.
Oh, no kidding. Cool
Yup.
is that?
It's a lot of fun. And so because I made my Wednesday night live streams about FPP, so that way there, now I'm going to start doing, I was doing gnomes every Wednesday. So now I'm going to start doing like 1 week gnome, 1 week lion. So that way I can get my lion done. because that is one of my goals. And Donna from Handmade Ying is going to shoot me if I don't get him done.
But you also have to work on. You got.
So Barb, I am. Say what, John?
I was gonna say, when's Winnie the Pooh get worked in?
So my other quilt. So I do foundation paper piece on Wednesdays. Saturdays I do whatever quilt project I decide to work on that Saturday.
Okay.
And then Sundays is my hand stitching or hand quilting. And then so because of all my squirrels, now my cotton cuts PMQs are going to be recorded videos. Because I ran out of days for live streams.
But it does help us get more focused, right? It is funny how if we have our live stream scheduled and that, it does help get us project driven.
Yes. And now I've also, as of January, because people were asking for certain tutorials of quilt blocks. So now I'm also releasing every Monday a new quilt block tutorial. And I'm calling it Block of the Week. And every week it's a 10-inch block that's going to finish out as. And once I get 9 blocks done, I'm going to put them together into a baby quilt. And then at the end of the year, all those baby quilts I get done will be donated.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yep. So that way it's a way of me doing a tutorial to show people how I do things, not necessarily how they have to be done, but how I do them, giving the measurements and everything, because it's a block I create off of EQ8. And then I'm going to work on figuring out how to do up a PDF file or some type of Word doc file or something like that I can be able to link in the description, or a link that they can be able to click on to be able to have the measurements to download or whatnot. But I'm still trying to figure out the logistics of doing that. It's
And still work full time and take care of your husband and son
and herd of animals, and now my mom and my next door neighbor grandma. And yeah, I'm a very, very busy lady, and I don't ever sit down until like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And usually by like 9:30, I'm asleep on the couch.
I get that. I've got friends that are like, do you ever just sit down? And I'm like, well, yeah, I watch this show and do that. And they're like, yeah, but while you're sitting there, you're doing like 10 other things. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I can't just sit. I mean, no.
Yeah, my husband's already found out, if I sit down and I don't have something else busy keeping me moving and focused, then it's a guarantee within 10, 15 minutes, I'm asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
I put the recliner out. I cuddle up beside Loki Bear, which is my little Yorkie that is going to be 16 years old this April.
Wow.
And we just both curl up and go to sleep. Until my husband wakes me up, letting me know it's time to take a bath and go to bed.
Get up, get ready for bed. Do that. I realize sometimes I watch the same TV show, the same episode 2 or 3 times because it's like, oh yeah, this is where I fell asleep last time. And then next thing I know, I'm asleep and I'm like, oh my God, I fall asleep the same spot every time.
So Bob Scott asked, where are you in Michigan, Donnell? I'm in Grand Rapids. And Jen says that she was raised in Plymouth, Michigan. So I am in Roseville, Michigan. It is right by where, really close, like about a half a mile away from where 696 and I-94 come together. It is right by where I'm at. So I'm like right on the border of, I'm in Roseville, but I'm right on the border of East Point, Warren, and I'm in Roseville. So.
One of my first trips to Michigan was in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, I've been to Grand Rapids a few times, but not in a long time. Because I used to do direct care work And for people that were elderly or disabled, or the disabled portion was like pretty much any age, but majority of the people I took care of was like the elderly, older guys. And I would like take them around to places or to doctor appointments or take care of them at their homes. I used to do direct care in their homes, bathing, dressing, toileting, fixing their foods, taking care of their service animals, stuff like that. And then I got out of that line of work whenever I graduated from college and got the job I have now. Granted, that job was mentally more rewarding, but this one here pays better and has better benefits. And unfortunately, I had to look upon that aspect for helping my husband to be a provider for the family.
Yeah, I want to do things that make me feel like I contribute and blah blah blah. But at the same time, yeah, I have to take care of myself, right? So you got to have the right job with the right benefits and that too.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the job I had just did not supply the health benefits and the finances I needed in order to do what I needed at home. So was what it was, and they weren't willing to boost up the pay anymore, so I had to move on. It stunk because I really loved what I did and I was good at it. But it is what it is.
So Danielle, look, I got my first. So that's the back of my St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, they're so cute.
But look at this. Isn't that going to be?
Oh my gosh, that is adorable. I love it.
Yep. But I love the backing. I happened to find that in my stash, and I was like, oh, somebody was having a good day when they bought that.
So happy-go-lucky.
So I managed to actually get one done. Of course, I still got all the binding, and that's why I'm doing a lot of placemats, is to really get more practice on my binding. I don't like the way my binding looks, but I'm always doing quilts, and I think that's part of the problem, is I need to do something a little simpler, just one time, to kind of help get,
See, I like practicing my binding on like hot pads, bowl cozies, because I actually do a binding on my bowl cozies instead of the flip and stitch.
Oh, do you really? Because see, I've got the AccuQuilt die, so I always do the flip and stitch.
See, I take a 10-inch square, I fold it in half and make the two darts on the bottom corners. Then I fold it in half the other direction, open it up and fold it in half the other direction, make the two darts. So I go up 1 inch and over 2 inches. I make a little mark right there on those two marks. I draw a line and then I stitch on that line. And that's my darts.
Interesting.
And I use a 10-inch square, and then I try and put them up against the batting. I do my quilting. I'll do the quilting and everything before I make the darts, of course. But then once I get the darts and the quilting all done up and everything, then I try and take the two pieces, put them the batting sides together to where the outside fabric is facing out on each side.
Right.
I pin or clip, and then I start at the very tip of the corner on one side. I put the fabric right there. I do like the double fold bias binding, and I just bind all the way around like you would a quilt sandwich.
Right.
And then when I get around to the end, back over to the end where I started, I make a hoop like you would a pot holder.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, I can send you the link because I actually have a couple of tutorial videos on how I do it and everything. And for a 10-inch square bowl cozy, it takes like 45.5 inches binding.
But that way, then with the little hoop on there, though, then you can hang them up.
Yep, you can have like a little hook in the cabinet, or you have a hook on the wall. If you want to use, depending upon what fabric you use, you could use it as decoration as well when you're not using it.
Yeah, I like that idea. That would really be cute.
Yeah, plus it saves from like the drawer space or the cabinet space taken up.
Yeah, I have a drawer full of stuff, and it would be that would really be cool to have
We
those.
all have that miscellaneous drawer.
As organized as I am, believe it or not, I do have a miscellaneous drawer.
I think we all have a miscellaneous drawer, no matter how organized we are. It's just a guarantee. We're gonna have a miscellaneous drawer. But yeah, that's the way I love doing it. Jordy, who are you asking that of? Because I'm kind of confused. She says, what time are you on too? If you're asking, I'm not on today. If that was directed towards me, I'm not on today. I will be releasing a recorded video later today once I get it recorded. This week is going to be a different one than what I normally do because a few of my peeps have asked me to do a tutorial on how to do a double wedding ring quilt block using the templates. So that's what this block this week is going to be, is the double wedding ring quilt block, which is, I actually have one over here. Let's see. I'm just getting all my goodies pulled out today.
I see that.
Sorry, John, I may have taken over your channel.
No, we're all good. We're having fun.
Yes. Then plus I'm all hyped up on coffee too. So this is the block that I'm going to do on my tutorial.
Wow.
And this is actually 3 blocks. So it's actually, the block itself is this block right here. So I'm going to go ahead and have the other 3 made up. And then on the video, I'm going to do this block and then show you how I put them together to create the one large block. And that way there it's all squared up and everything. And beautiful block. Obviously, this would not be included into the children's quilt because of the fact that it's way larger than 10 inches.
Way larger than 10 inches.
Yep. But I already got pieces all cut up for it and everything. And because I had some people ask for a tutorial on it, since there are a few there's a quilt group or quilt channel that is doing it with their membership. It's the Renegades over at In Quilt Fact, which I'm a member of. So some people were kind of confused on how to go about doing it with the templates. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, I can show you how to do that.
Been there, done that.
My Wednesday night live stream is 6 p.m. every Wednesday night, Jackie. And then 10 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday morning. And that's all Eastern time. Bart says, we used to go to your side of the state to compete in dog agility events. Awesome sauce. My mother-in-law used to do that too. Years and years ago when she used to breed I cannot remember what, Great Pyrenees she used to breed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're like the size of a horse.
Yes. Yes.
But they're like huge teddy bears. Such big cuddle babies.
Hey, I got to run to the craft room because I left the that's where I left the other prizes, and it's almost time for another giveaway, so I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. I'll stay right here and keep everybody occupied. So what is everybody else working on right now? And yes, I have been a major jabberjaw this morning. I'm sorry if I'm talking off everybody's ears. Coffee is fully set in with me today. Hey, Joanna. Good morning to you. Michelle says, I will work on those burp cloths later today. I really need to get those finished. Awesome. Refolding fat quarters. Ooh. I'm hand tying a quilt just because I've always wanted to try it. Yeah, I did that whenever I was younger, and I just like hand quilting better, or machine quilting better than hand tying, but it's always a good thing to always try first. My bee quilt is half quilted. Awesome sauce, Jen.
All right.
I just finished my second pillowcase. Whoop, whoop. My hubby's happy. A happy hubby is a good thing.
Amen. All right. So I got my second panel. I bought this last year and thought it was too adorable. It is called, it's Bernatech, so no wonder I like it.
Oh, right.
It is called the Some Bunny Loves You, and it is bunny boxes. And I thought, again, I would probably fussy cut some of this, but look how cute these bunnies are.
Aww. So adorable, especially with Easter coming.
Right. So I thought, how perfect. I thought, we'll give that away this morning.
Awesome sauce. That would be a cutest. Could be quilt or table runner or wall hanging.
So much we can do with it, right? It's all about being creative.
Yes.
So if you put in exclamation point Easter, we will pick a random winner for this one.
Awesome sauce. Good morning, Laura. Hope you're feeling good this morning. She had shoulder surgery last week, I think it was.
That's never fun.
Or not shoulder. I'm sorry, not shoulder. It was lower back. So she actually had a fractured lower back, and they had to go in and do surgery.
No way.
Yes. So because I had back in 2021, I had to have lower back surgery because I had pinched off a nerve, like completely pinched it off, and they even found a bone fragment in the pinched off nerve section when they did release it. So when they went in to do surgery and everything, they actually had to remove so much of my back cartilage that the disc cartilage right there at that junction, that they actually was like a hair from it. He said if he would have had to remove any more, then it would have been a fusion.
Really?
Yeah, that was just from falling at my sister-in-law's. Dear Lord. But it was like 6 months of agony from the time that it happened to the time I got some relief.
How scary is that, right?
Yeah. Thankfully, it was before my quilting life really got going. So I had some fabric cut out and beforehand and sat there and hand stitched on the couch the whole time, making a whole lot of quilted hexagons. Afterwards, I'm like looking at this grocery bag of quilted hexagons that I had created, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I'm like, I never thought past that point. My only concern was something creative to do to keep my hands busy while I'm laid up on the couch, unable to do anything else.
All right, let's see who's going to get Easter.
Yes. Drum roll. Ooh, Mike, a New York beauty.
Mike, a New York beauty. Look at you. So if you would send me your email or address, and I will get that out. And I haven't figured out how to put the banner in like Miss Donnell, but I will now that she's told me I can do that.
Oh, it is so easy to do. I could actually coach you right here on the stream if you wanted. Literally takes minutes to do it.
I know. I'm looking to see because I'm like, you know what?
So if you go over to the side, you'll see a section that says banner. It's like
Yep.
the side of the chat, you'll see a section that says banner. Click on that.
Yep.
And then from there, you would
Create.
a new banner and just type in your email address.
Would help if I could spell it.
A little bit. Maybe a smidge. And then once you get that typed in, then you just hover over it. Once you get it saved and everything, you just hover over it where it says show, and then it should pop up on the bottom of the thing, just like you did the chat earlier. Looky there.
Look how quick, man, look how good you are. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I get to have surgery tomorrow.
Oh no, what on?
I am having sinus surgery tomorrow.
Ooh, I've heard that could be rough.
Yes, so we'll see. My doctor says I'll only be out of commission for a day, and a week later be able to go back to work and do all that fun stuff. And but
Is it
it's
the septum or something?
well, that's what's funny because everybody goes, "So you have a deviated septum?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess so." And my doctor goes, "No, you wish that's what you had, but that's not what you have." I thought, of course not. I wouldn't want to be common, you know.
Oh,
So
right?
it's 3 different things that he's going to do. It is outpatient. It's not supposed to take over an hour. And he did tell me that, like I said, he said that recovery and that should be a week. But the problem is, like, I can only one side of my nose I cannot breathe out of at all, and the other side of my nose I can only is like 95% blocked.
Oh, wow.
So he said the reason you never sleep at night is because you just can't breathe. I'm like, well, yeah, I get that.
We're like, yeah, well, that part I figured out all by myself.
Yeah. Well, and then it was funny because he asked me, he goes, I just can't believe as bad, like anatomically or whatever, you know, that you are, that no other doctor has, diagnosed or, done this. And I was like, oh, yeah, I went to an ENT at the Medical College of Georgia, and he said, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, and he goes, so what did he want to do? And I said, so he wanted to do surgery just like you. And he goes, oh, so what did you do? I said, I changed doctors. Like, yeah, I'm not ready for surgery. Now I'm old enough. It's like, yeah, I think I've.
Oh, so you were just being a stubborn mule.
Yes. Absolutely. He just
Hey,
shook
no
his head.
offense or anything, but just putting it out there.
Yeah. Shook his head. He was like, he had no idea how to respond to that. I was like, yeah, I may be a little bit more patient than you're used to. So, but that's okay. That's what makes me me.
Yes. See, that's why we love you so much.
So that should be interesting. So I don't have to go back to work tomorrow.
I mean, that's one bonus.
That's right. So maybe I'll get to catch up on you too.
Let me know if that works out for you.
I will. So probably not so much tomorrow, but yeah, it's like, and I'm trying to explain to him, like, dude, like, I've got a really busy life. Like, I've got, he shakes his head. I'm like, yeah, I know people tell you that, but they really don't. I really do. I mean,
You're like, I got this YouTube channel. I can't be down. Like, let me check my books.
yeah. You just laugh because there's always so much going on, and it's like, and so now, right, I want to get the gardening plot, and I want to get this, and I want to get that, and it's like, I don't have time, and like, let's just make all this happen. And my son's coming to see me.
Oh, awesome.
So he is in Alcoa, Tennessee. So, but his new lady friend, her mother lives in Tombstone, Arizona. So they're going to come out for a week and spend 3 days with me and then go down and be with her.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, at least they're coming by.
Yeah, so it works out that She's actually a nurse. So they'll be here post surgery. So
Oh,
I'll
awesome sauce.
be all for it.
Jackie says maybe you'll get some projects done.
That's what I keep thinking. I have a very positive attitude that I'm going to get stuff cut and I'm going to get stuff sewn and I'm going to get all this stuff accomplished. And I have a feeling that probably my list of what I want to get done is bigger than what will get done. But yeah, I counted the other day. I have 19 quilt tops to put on the long arm.
Oh, wow.
And I
I
feel
think
like
as far as my whips that I wanted to work on this year and get caught up and taken care of and everything, I think so far I've completed 3 or 4, not including the quilting part. I've not quilted them. It's just the top.
it
Which
just, I mean,
some of them I'm sending out to be quilted, so I don't count that as something I got to do. So
I don't, I've thought about that the other day. I thought, I'm really happy that I was able to afford a long arm, that it's computerized, all of that stuff. But then I look at it and I look at the pile of stuff and I'm like, okay, by the time I do everything else, by the time I put that, I'm like, am I really saving money? Like, time I wrestle the backing, wrestle the batting, wrestle, get it all loaded. And then it's like, okay, now I'm tired and I just got this stuff loaded. Now I still have to
actually quilt it and bind it and trim it. And yeah, I decided like last year, I'm like, for now on, the really large quilts, I'm not quilting anymore. I'm sending out to be quilted. And if they're commission quilts, that person's just going to have to know that I'm just going to have to let them know that the prices was raised up and everything, because they're just going to have to pay for the quilting service if they want me to do it.
Yep.
Because I'm going to send it out to be done, because it's just too much work on my lower back and I don't want to mess with it anymore on my domestic machine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, even, I've got the entire setup. I'm very fortunate, to have what I've got. But, I'm like, was that really the wisest investment? Would you not have been better off? Because I do have a neighbor, she does it, and she does take work in. And she's telling me one day, she goes, well, I wouldn't mind, taking a couple home for you and helping you get caught up. And I'm like, it doesn't help because you take them home just because you long arm them. I mean, technically, I guess it does, but it doesn't because they're still going to come back here and still going to need you're still going to need trimming, still needs everything squared up, and then it still needs binding. So it's like, and since I don't like to do binding,
but the loading, unloading, and quilting portion would help though, because that's hard to say. You could be working on a different quilt and everything. You could be working on one while she's working on one and getting double the work done.
And I do like when I'm doing the long arm, I really like doing the long arm. Like I'm into it, but again, it just takes away from something. It's like,
yeah, I totally get what you're saying. So
there's a lot to this craft. I don't think people realize until you kind of get into it how much there is to do.
Yeah, like so before Iton took on the commissioned project of this first cavalry quilt, Iton had already made this gentleman 3 quilts. Those pineapple quilts that were on my Quiltmas videos, Quiltmas videos this past December for anyone that watched them. If not, go watch them. It was a lot of fun. I dressed up every day.
No, did you really?
I wore a different headband and different Christmassy shirt every day up until Christmas Day. The last 6 days, I was like, I'm done. And I didn't even think about it until Janet Conwell called me out on it. She goes, where's the headband? I was like, I was wondering who was going to notice. I'm like, I was too tired to get to work to even put the headband on my head.
Well, and it's funny because I wore a different Christmas shirt every day doing my unboxings and all that. And somebody goes, I can't believe how many Christmas shirts you have. And I was like, yeah, what I wouldn't tell you is that I actually have more Christmas shirts than there are days in December. So
Yeah, I was
y'all,
like, okay, I'm gonna do that. At first, it started off where it's like, okay, I'm gonna wear a different headband every month of December that I go live or have a recorded video. And then I decided I was gonna do the quilt mess thing. And then I decided, okay, I'm gonna, instead of trying doing like Christmas projects or going live or anything like that, I'm like, I started looking through my pictures. I'm like, I've never done like a video log of all the quilts I've ever made since I started quilting and sewing in 2017, 2018, whatever it was. I guess 2018. I'm like, I've never logged any of these, and all I have is pictures on my computer of it. I'm like, I
oh
want
wow.
to do like a presentation type of thing or Dell. So that way there I got something I can look back on and go, okay, I did this and this on this using this fabric on these dates and for this person and stuff like that. Because that way there I got a video documented on the internet of it. And so I'm like, start looking, I'm like, I have enough to do one for every day of December. I'm like, there's an idea, and it's something different that other people are not doing.
Yeah. Well, and you do such cute headbands. I've seen the scrunch, all that stuff that you do because you have that. Now you're not doing the craft store anymore that you were doing.
I'm not doing the craft shows anymore because I wasn't making any money at that. So now on my channel, instead of doing the craft shows locally, so now
Mhm.
what I do is the first Saturday of every month, I do a sale on my channel, which consists of things I make as well as fabric bundles and 3D printed stuff that my husband and son make.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, they've made some cute little things. Like one of the things I absolutely love using and I use on a daily basis is this adorable little baby dragon.
Oh, look how cute.
And so, and it's like one of the items that we sell. And so my husband actually made it as a ink pen holder, and I use it as a stick pin holder to hold my little magic pens right by my sewing machine. And if it's
Yeah.
right in front of my thread spool stand and everything. Barb says, time to make lunch. Bye, John and Donnell. Bye, honey.
Oh, bye, Barb. Thanks for being here. You
Linda
know what was?
Trendy Threads is here. Says, I love to do binding on a quilt. So relaxing to me.
Oh, she must do hand binding. I bet.
Probably a lot of people do. I want to try that. I just don't trust my hand quilting skills enough yet to keep that attached. I'm
But
working
now
my way to it.
look what was in my Missouri Star quilt box this year.
And guess what? Someone sent me theirs.
No.
Yes. Let me grab him so I can show you.
Did you put pins in him already?
Not yet.
I haven't had the heart to put pins in mine.
So someone actually sent me both of these.
No
So send me
way.
him. I'm like, I don't want to put pins in him. He's just too cute.
That's what I thought. I thought to
And
me
it
he
looks like a little mushroom hat.
does, doesn't it? And I thought he's cute enough. He sits over in the corner and he kind of like watches me. So, and then when I mess things up, he understands my dirty words sometimes that I can't say on YouTube. And
See, I keep him sitting behind the wall over here watching the fish tank. So he's got a nice, comfortable view, and he doesn't have to hear my bad words whenever I'm not on camera. He's not a witness. And then I also sent this little guy.
oh, he's cute.
Right? I'm like, so adorable.
Mm.
I
It
love
is
having a fellow gnome or gnome lover that I can show this stuff with.
that understands gnomes, right? Because some people act like it's just craziness or something. And I'm like, well, I think you're crazy for not.
Oh,
not
see,
being into it.
I've already told all of my viewers, or not my viewers, but my members. I'm like, one by one, I am converting you.
We get there
I'm
very
like,
easily.
by the end, you will love the gnomes.
Mm-mm-mm. All right, so now I got 2 St. Patrick's table or placemats done. Not sure that I'm going to get 4 done today, but that was the plan.
Hey, Judy says, going to get ready for lunch and do some running around before the bad weather hits in Georgia. Be safe and stay warm.
Yes.
And Brian says, bye, everyone.
Bye, Brian. Thanks for being here today. Bye, Judy.
Auntie Joy Delita is still here, though.
Joy is such a character. I enjoy her. She always has good chat with on my channel.
Yes, she always cracks me up. It's so funny because a New York Beauty Mike was asking me, because he's one of my moderators and one of my dearest friends. I always call him my big brother because he looks out for me.
Mm-hmm.
He said, he messaged me this morning. He goes, so what are you going to be working on over at John's this morning? I go, I have no clue. I have like 30 different things laid out. I have no idea. I'm like, I know there's got to be a gnome in there somewhere because, I mean, it's John.
Well, see, I think my little...
He's like, you and your gnomes. He goes, I'm going to say hi at the beginning, and then I'm going to be lurking so I can have my headphones on, listening to you guys while I'm doing my stuff. I'm like, okay.
But see, that my little leprechaun, he looks like he goes with the gnomes.
See, my opinion is leprechauns are just young gnomes.
See, I think so too. I would not argue with you, Donnell.
If you ask my husband, it probably wouldn't do you any good if you tried.
Oh.
And this is after 20 years of him losing.
Been there, done that. Oh,
Well, it's funny because me and him both are Aries. Our birthdays, his is April 4th and mine's April 10th. Oh, so we're both very strong fire signs. And when we're bound and determined, there's no change in our mind. Which is good and bad at the same time.
Which really made it easy for your son, right?
Yeah. And then, so our oldest son is just like him, and our youngest son is just like me. Like literally our mini versions of us.
Yeah, it's interesting. My son, who's coming to visit, is just like my ex-wife. Same temperament, same personality, all good. Unfortunately, my daughter is literally just a copy of me. And she's got the mouth and everything. And every now and then my son-in-law will text me something and I'll say something. And he's like, yeah, I live with you, so I understand. Just stop. You know? Like, there's a difference. We're not exactly the same. And he's like, no, you use the same expressions. Like, yeah, no, you're literally just two joined at the, yeah. I was like, okay.
See, my oldest one knows how to win with me. He's learned how to get me over to understanding more.
Mm-hmm.
Where me and my husband, like when we're in a disagreement, because we don't really have fights, we'll have a disagreement occasionally. Yeah. Because we don't do like the whole like younger generation screaming and everything and all and fighting like a lot of people are used to and all. It's just never been our thing. We're like anti-drama.
Yeah, I tell you, that's
and
me.
My son knows how to make me stop and think because he's a lot more patient than my husband. Janet says, you two are a couple of Gnome junkies. You need a Gnomes Anonymous support group. No. No.
Just
Girlfriend,
wait till
no, big sis.
wait
So
till you.
Janet is like my big sister.
Mm-hmm.
And Janet, no. There's no support group for this. And don't try to start one.
Just wait till you see my gnome rug that I'm making.
I'm going to have you make me one of these.
Like, I'm so anxious, and I haven't used my Cricut forever, so I'm like, oh my gosh, now I got to get that back out and get that. I don't even know if the software's updated on it, so that's why I have it. So
You've got this. You got it. I trust you.
again, and that's just what happens watching YouTube. It's like, really? See, you weren't supposed to find another project to do.
Michelle goes, Janet, she has us trained to buy her gnomes and bees. Michelle does. She'll go to Joanne Fabrics to go look around or to get fabric that she needs and all. And next thing I know, she sent me pictures of fabric of gnomes and bees that she bought to send me. And Jenna goes, so true, Michelle. I'm like, if I can't afford my own habit, then I'm going to start training people so that way they know what I love. I talk about it all the time. And they'll see something, they'll be like, hey, Donnell, look what I've seen that made me think of you.
Yeah, so instead of sending me things, I go into the local quilt shop who goes, oh, yeah, this just came in, so we set this in the back for you, or we put this aside for you. And I'm like, okay, I spend money fine on my own. I don't need you all waiting for me to show up.
Hey, Kev, how you doing? Colleen says she has to go. Need to set some bread.
Mm. I used to make the that Amish starter bread. Still like that bread. Remember that where you had the starter and you had to feed it every couple of days, then separate it and do all that.
No, I was never big into the whole cooking stuff and all. That's why I married my husband, because he was.
Oh.
So early on, we had an agreement. He cooks, I clean. Then I seen the mess that he makes. I'm like, no wonder he was so easy to convince on this.
Yeah. Focus on how good it tasted, how good that was.
I do. And now what I do when I know he's gonna be in there making a huge meal, which equals an even huger mess, I go in there and I start cleaning the moment he starts prep.
Yeah, I've done better about I do the way my kitchen's set up. I put a lot of things rinse and dishwasher as I'm going, which helps. But
Well,
yeah,
I am the dishwasher.
Yeah, I won't say that I'm not the cleanest.
I'm nowhere near the cleanest. My mother would have a stroke if she knew how I did not inherit her extreme clean. But I mean, I got sewing to do. I ain't got time for all that.
That's me. I've got too many projects. Hey, let's do another giveaway because we're at 10:25 and I've got 2 more left.
Ooh. And how long are we going to be on today?
Till so 11 my time, so about 30 more minutes.
Okay.
Look how good a person Danielle is, right? She's like, I don't even know how long we're gonna be here, but I'm here.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, honey, I'll see you when I walk out in the front room.
Just crazy. But that's what
It's
makes
so
us
funny because he's
family.
like, it was so funny because this morning he was like, so how long are you going to be on the live stream for? I never found that out. I'm like, he asked, I said yes.
You did. You were quick too.
Well, when you asked, I was like, oh, I got that day off.
All right, so this is a charm pack of 42 squares by Clothworks. It's called Pretty in Pink by the world of Susie B. So it's that
Ooh, that's
70s,
so pretty.
isn't it? So I thought, how cool is that? So exclamation point charm will get you in the raffle for this. It's got a lot of
Y'all better
colors
enter,
in
because
it.
if not, I'm stealing it.
Oh, you know what? It has honeybees in it.
Oh, John, why you gotta tell me this?
I
Now,
just
now I got now you're gonna maybe go up against everybody.
I just opened it. I was like, I haven't even gone through all the things that's in this charm pack. It happened to be, it was one that when I opened, because I keep all my, so I have a bunch of IKEA dressers that I had at
Uh-huh.
another house. And so, they've got nice big drawers. So I literally have a charm pack drawer. I now have two fat quarter drawers. I have two Tula pink drawers, a jelly roll drawer. So, anyways, when I opened up to start pulling out for this charm pack, I was like, I how, wonder what charm pack is down in there that looks springy to help us get in the festive mood. Winter won't be here that much longer, and we'll be celebrating all the new life of new, plants, new seeds, all that fun stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then I found that and I thought, how adorable is that? I'm sure I bought that for a reason at some point.
Melissa goes, okay, time to go on a trip with me, Donnell. See, I recruit my members.
I see that. You do really well.
I am very convincing.
So have
Figure
you
I use the little trick, the radio and advertisements and commercials all use of I keep talking about it every time. Eventually it's just gonna stick in your head.
have you done a quilting retreat?
I have not done an actual in-person quilt retreat. I am actually doing one this coming October with Handmade by Ying. She's doing one in Tennessee.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so a lot of people, including Melissa, Mike, and Janet, and a lot of others, we're all getting together down there for a quilt retreat in Tennessee. So I'm actually driving down, and it's gonna be my first trip, especially by myself, since my boys were babies.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like all excited. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself.
Are you all doing a special project or is it just
We
going
have
to be
not
open?
we have not discussed any major details, projects and stuff yet. So waiting. Donna says that we're gonna get together on a Zoom. All of us that are going and everything get together on a Zoom probably in February to sit down and discuss all the details.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
But it's gonna be so much fun. I'm like looking so forward to it because I mean I've done virtual retreats, but I've never done an in-person retreat. I've never done an in-person quilt show. I've watched everybody else's videos from last couple of years actually,
Yep.
other quilt shows, and I'm like, I still want to go.
All right, let's do the charm giveaway. Over to my phone.
My rolling is not working anymore.
Yeah. So Teresa Lynn.
Teresa!
So if you send me an email at guyscraft2, I will get that in the mail this week.
And I promise I won't set the
Congratulations.
mail.
You might have to pull the bee charm squares out and do Danya.
No, I'll play nice. She can keep it. I do gotta share the bees.
That's right. I like to make
Everywhere needs pollination, so not just my house.
so crazy. See, that's the problem for me being on the West Coast. I don't know as many folks. It's funny, like Tiffany, which I would love to meet. I have not met Tiffany at Tiffany's Quilting Life. She is. I'm hoping maybe I'll bump into her at QuiltCon. I probably should have said something to her, but because I do watch her channel, and she is in Lake Havasu, so she's a couple hours from me. But it just doesn't seem like I know as many quilters in the YouTube family and that on the West Coast.
See, for me, I just bounce all over the place.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, but like
I do a lot of watching on my cell phone. I even have like I have a tablet set up in the front. My husband, because I'm so crazy, my husband has bought me a small 8-inch tablet for beside the couch for when I want to watch my YouTube videos to follow everybody in there. When it's supposed to be family time, he bought me a tablet so I can watch you guys. And then he got me another.
It's a bigger family.
Yes. Well, he knows I'm an addict. I can't help it. But they get busy doing their computer games. And so I sit there and watch my YouTube videos, and I'll put an earbud in one ear so that way there I can still talk with them and be part of the group and everything with them. But at the same time still listen to you guys and talk in the chat there too. It's like the whole mom thing.
But like where you're going to Tennessee with so many folks in that would be so much fun. But for me, it's such travel, right? Because it's changing time zone, it's flying across the country and doing all that. Whereas I was able to meet some folks that are more, Arizona, New Mexico, Vegas, those type of areas. But it just doesn't seem like so far I found as many. And it could be more of a regional thing too, right? That just seems like more people maybe on the East Coast or into some of these. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Let's see. Teresa said something. Let me get back up there, see what she was that she said. Let's see. It was after we announced that she won. She said, that is surprising. Thank you. Jackie's asking if you can repeat the name of the charm pack. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's The World of Susie B, Pretty in Pink by Clothworks.
And Teresa, you can have the charm pack, honey. She goes, John, you can send it to Donnell. That would be fine. Girl, you want it fair and square. I didn't even play. Because I want that to be about you guys, not me playing. I got enough fabric.
She got enough work going on.
I don't really do a whole lot with charm packs. Like I have a few charm packs and I just use them for scrap fabric for doing my gnomes. So I don't really do a lot with charm packs.
I've been bouncing around lately where I really like some days grabbing a charm pack and doing the pattern, and then the next day I'll grab a layer cake, and then I end up cutting up the layer cake so much it's like, okay, well you could have just done a charm pack, it's like.
Yeah, but a layer cake is for charm packs.
Yes.
So
I noticed that in the price when I check out too.
Yeah, usually I'll look to see, okay, what do I want to use this for? And then I base that upon whether I need a charm pack or a layer cake.
Oh, Jackie says Treasure Heart Creations in Las Vegas. I'll have to take a look because I've seen, obviously.
Eric is amazing. Eric is wonderful. Definitely need to check him out.
I'll have to do that. So thank you for that.
I love watching Eric. He always comes on so late for me, but lately he's been doing some like in the middle of the day videos occasionally, which is really cool because then it's something I can be able to catch too. Because otherwise he comes on at like, I think it's like, I don't know, like 10, 11 o'clock my time, sometimes midnight. I'm like, ooh, that's late for me, especially on a work night.
Well, and that's why I kind of found my spot right at 4 o'clock Arizona time, but that's still like for you at 6 o'clock Sunday night.
Yeah, which I mean, it's still fine. I think it's just like yesterday. Like normally, I have no problem jumping in there and watching your videos.
Right.
between yours and Tiffany's, because I mean it's still within a time frame that works good for me. But it's like anything later than like 8 o'clock, it's usually difficult for me because at that point it's like, okay, I'm too tired for my brain to even focus. Especially because I always want to say hi. And then the moment I say hi, everybody else is going to start saying hi. So then I got to say hi back because it's just the right Southern thing to do. And because I always get excited whenever I see people saying hi to me. So I get excited. I'm like, oh, people see my name.
Stripped down for nothing.
So, Linda's Trendy Thread says, I enjoy listening to you all while I'm sewing. We are able to keep a good conversation going, yes?
Yes, definitely. You never know what we're going to talk about from 1 minute to the next. Usually winds up back on Gnome, though.
We do kind of circle back, don't we?
Yes.
I do have a really cute gnome I did for Easter last year. So I'll be getting that out pretty soon.
Awesome. Yeah, I have a really super cute gnome pattern that was sent to me. So I'm going to be doing that here soon on my channel. I have 30 fat quarters that I will be using to do that pattern with. I don't know how many I need for it. All depends upon how big I decide to make it. But it's like super large gnomes with mushrooms and plants and everything. It's so cute. I would get it out and show you, but it's over there in my workbench drawer, which requires me to move my wall. And I don't want you all to see that mess back there right now because I've not cleaned that section in a while.
Oh, Danielle, we're family.
That's even more reason why not to show. Some things you just don't want everybody seeing, okay?
A little mystery in life never hurt anyone, did it?
No. Like, I understand you guys are all family and everything, but you don't need to see everything.
Although,
I'm not willing to reveal every aspect.
But as YouTube creators, right, we do share an awful lot, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
And I'm okay with that.
I am too. I love sharing just some aspects of my sloppy. I wouldn't really call it sloppy. It's more of like a creative mess. I just don't like sharing all of my creative mess. I don't even call it a creative mess. I call it more of a creative explosion that took place.
Well, sometimes it's just kind of how our brain works, isn't it?
Yes.
And I think I so needed that outlet, at work. It's just funny, with what I deal with and what I do, it's like, okay, I need something to just totally get my mind focused in a whole different direction.
Yes. So for my work, anybody that does not know, and I have talked about this some lately on my channel, for my work, I work for an insurance company, unfortunately. I mean, they pay good money and everything. I just hate what the position I had to take and everything or the position I was given. So I work for a health insurance company that, or third party payer or whatnot, where whenever something is denied for whatever reason under the health insurance, like of durable medical equipment supplies, my responsibility is I'm the one that writes up the letter and then gives you the call to let you know it was denied and explain the reason why and how things can go about going to get corrected and everything for it, to have it re-reviewed or whatnot. And unfortunately, I'm the person that makes that phone call.
Oh, wow.
So I'm the messenger that's getting shot on every call. And that's my 8 hours a day that I get to live. Not fun whatsoever, but it is what it is. I wanted into the medical field within like the paper aspect of it. Never wanted to be this position of it. I wanted to be the one to do the research to do the investigation, to get the extra information needed. Biggest problem with that though is that a lot of times doctors don't respond.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we can call them and ask them for the information over the phone, but they're like, well, we need you to send this over as a paper form for us to answer. Well, we did, and you didn't answer. So now we're calling you and asking you for it. But we'll get it filled out and sent to you and everything. Well, we need it by like this such and such date and time based upon health insurance regulations and all the rules that we had to follow. So if you can do this quickly, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Quickly doesn't happen in the medical world.
No, it does not. And it's frustrating because then I was like, then I got to try to explain it to the members that pay for their insurance and everything. And I hate it. I hate being on that end of it and everything. And I can understand them being upset and being frustrated and all. So I do give a lot of sympathy for it.
Well, I'll tell you what's crazy. So so my company requires that I file FMLA, even though I'm probably going to only be out of work 5 days, blah, blah, blah. And since I work in HR, I know what the rules are. So yeah, I'm trying to be a good guy. And so I'm talking to my doctor, my surgeon, about what I've got to do when I'm going out, and uh, the administrator or whatever comes into the office, and she's like, yeah, we got your we've got your paperwork and that. She said we won't fill that out until your post-op. And I'm like, well, no, I need it now to take back to work, to send into the and she goes, yeah, that's not how we do it. So later the doctor comes in and he goes, well, let me explain how all this works. And I'm like, okay, well, I do kind of do this for a living, but okay. And he's like, we won't give FMLA paperwork out now till post-op, because over the last 2 years, we've had so many people come in to get the paperwork, then never show up to do the surgeries. And so then others are and I thought, I can't imagine that I would go and spend the time to get a doctor to give me a diagnosis, to write me out of work just because I want to be out of work, and then not have the
And you
procedure.
can't, and once you have an FMLA, you can't go back until you have a note from that doctor saying that, yes, you are being released from medical leave. You can go
Yep.
back to work now.
So I was like, wow. And I get it. I mean, I was like, yeah, dude, this is kind of what I deal with every day, but it was like, it's just so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to deal with FMLA whenever I went out from my back surgery. Because, I mean, I was going to be out for like 6 weeks.
Oh, Jackie says he switched his lives to every other Saturday morning, which is now 9 a.m. Phoenix time.
Oh, I was
Good to
wondering
know.
why all of a sudden he was on like during the daytime. I'm like, what happened? I can watch him now. I'm like, I
Yeah.
like this.
So I'll have to check him out. It's interesting because I'm hoping to be able to do my live this Sunday. Then the next Sunday, Sally, who follows the channel, IM'd me to say, hey, you realize the next Sunday is going to be Super Bowl Sunday. So you may want to think about, if you're still doing your live, blah, 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 because people have parties. And I was like, okay, I didn't even think about that. And then the next Sunday, I'm actually going to be supposedly in Fort Lauderdale running a half marathon.
Oh, wow.
So we'll see how that goes. My doctor said I should be fine and shouldn't be an issue. So that as long as I feel like doing it, I should be fine. And I thought, well, I'm not ready for it. But, if I waited till I was completely ready for anything, I'd never get nothing done. So.
So I think I need someone to teach me my numbers. I sewed on numbers 1, 2, and 3 of this FPP, and then I'm like, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and do this piece here that looks next. I went to 5 and skipped 4.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. So now
You
I've
know,
got
I've
to
never
undo
done.
it so I can sew on 4.
I've never done a PP.
So essentially with FPP, you just follow the numbers. It's like paint by number, but instead you're sewing by number.
I have watched Ian, I don't know how many times, do it. And I think he almost intimidates me because he does it so quickly, easily. You know, it's like, okay, well, maybe I don't want.
Yeah, so I have like this little mantra I use. So number 1, so for number 1, the back of the fabric faces the back of the paper. And for number 2 and every number after for that piece of paper, the pretty side of the fabric faces the pretty side of the fabric. So like with this one here, I'm
Right.
about to be, so ignore this piece here because I
Yep.
just had to undo what I needed to of it. So what this one here is, I need to sew this piece right here on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this over here. So I'm going to take the pretty side of this gray, put it up against the pretty side of this gray, lay them down beside each other so that way the pretty sides are facing each other. And then I'm going to turn it over and stitch on that line here that I have.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's like this gray here was number 1. So the back of that went up against the back of the paper. And that's like my little mantra I use to help keep my orientation of the paper correct.
So do you stitch on the paper?
Yep, you stitch right through the paper. Let me grab one of the pieces I already had done up here. Because I already had this much of him done.
Oh,
So
I
it's
love him in the purple.
Yes. And then I used a really cute, gorgeous black.
Yes.
So this is the black I used. But I'm like, it's got so much curliness to it and everything. Be great for a beard.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I do is I actually stitch onto the paper, which is why it's called foundation paper pasting. You can actually, they have a method where if you want, you could actually pull the paper back. So for like this one right here, I could have actually pulled the paper back and stitched like right beside of it instead of stitching through the paper.
Right.
But I like having that structure of stitching through the line, stitching a straight line right there. No worries about being boo-boos. Yep, Shannon from Slate Arts does a phenomenal job. She's actually an instructor through Legit Kit. And then Ian, Sobecca, Handmade by Ian with Donna, Tiffany, all of them do foundation paper piece. And I love following every one of them.
So I may have to, so the gnomes that you're working on,
Yes,
would you consider those a nice beginner for foundation paper piecing?
I do. I absolutely love them. They are great. And on Wednesday nights when I do them, I actually take it step by step back and I actually have a few videos where I can, it's like 1 or 2 videos I posted in my Gnome section, FPP Gnome section playlist.
Yeah.
Where I actually recorded a video showing how to go from once you get it printed out to where you're actually sewing it and everything and all, giving step-by-step tutorial of how to go about starting off as a beginner.
Then I may have to go watch that this week.
Yeah, because I'm like, so I had some people ask me, they're like, we want to do this, but we don't know where to start. I'm like, well, I can do up a video for you.
Because now that I just added a 4th bookshelf of fabric, I probably have enough fabric in my stash to get what I need. And you're getting the pattern off Etsy, correct?
Yep, I get it right off of Etsy, and they're $3 a pattern. And when you order from her, she sends you, every time you order from her, she sends you a 10% off coupon.
Oh no! So
For
then
your
you save
next
30
order.
cents.
So then I keep coming back to get more. I'm
Well,
like, you just, and she's got more stuff than just gnomes. Like, she's got 108 patterns of gnomes.
well, I was gonna say, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Danielle, is there really anything besides gnomes? I mean, that's where the cuteness is, right?
Well, I figure whenever I get sick of doing gnomes, she's got puppy doggies too.
Oh, you know what? I still want there's a dog in my quilt. I would die to find that pattern.
Now, I
Uh,
need her to make a gnome and puppy doggy one
oh yeah,
of them together, like a gnome having a pet puppy.
wouldn't that be cute?
Yes, I should email her because I have actually emailed her and asked her if, hey, Heather, Debt-Free Quilter's here. No
Oh,
worries, Laura. Take it easy, honey.
mm-mm-mm.
So whenever I got ready to start doing this on my live streams, I actually emailed her and asked if it was okay if I did this on my live streams. She goes, oh, Lord, yes, please. I'm like, awesome sauce.
That's cool. I will check those out this week because I may have a little time, um, and that may be good for me to do something a little bit different. Like I said, that's why I kind of stopped doing quilts and just started working on these placemats because I just felt like I wanted something a little bit different for a bit. And then I want to get these door banner kits out and start working on them. And
Yeah, and these could actually make great pot holders too. Because they're like, they finish out at like 7.5 by 7.5. So if you add sashing, you can make it however big you want. And then quilt it and bind it.
you can't beat that.
Uh-uh.
All right, I have the last giveaway. I just need to jump over and get that set up in Nightbot. Give me 1 second. All right, so the last one is called, it's from Puppy Cotton. It is a sweet tooth strip roll, and it is Puppy Cotton. So it is Halloween. So of course, because I ended up buying I may have actually bought like 6 of these.
Ooh, Heather, Halloween.
It's all Halloween. So if you'll put exclamation point jolly in the chat, and we will start winding down. So this is our grand prize, all right? So 7 minutes left. We've had fun today, Danielle. We've gotten a lot accomplished, have we not?
Yes, I got a lot of fabric cut up and I got my gnome almost completely done.
That is awesome. Oh, Jackie said the Legit Kits building blocks pattern is free right now, and that's what she started with.
Oh, awesome. They made it free again. I know they had it free for a while and then they started charging for it. So it's really cool that they did it free again.
I will go look at that today.
Yeah, and he's actually going to be Mike from Legit Kits is actually going to be on Shark Tank on the 24th.
Oh, I saw that. I don't know if I saw that on your channel, but I
You
saw
seen it
that
over on Donna's channel.
Is that where it was?
Yep, because Donna from Handmade by Ying posted it.
Okay. I knew I saw it somewhere, and I thought, how awesome is that?
Right? I was like, ooh,
Oh,
we know a celebrity.
Sally just got in. She says she's had a bad reflux morning, so she just got here.
Oh, I'm so
Sally,
sorry.
we missed having you. So, exclamation point jolly gets you entered in the raffle for the last prize today.
Yes, ma'am. I got my 15 minutes in today, Heather. I seen Laura's name pop up right when I was saying it.
Laura says, "Oops, I had the wrong time, but I still have a few more minutes."
Awesome sauce.
Well, you can always catch the replay. You'll find that Danielle and I always have a good time together, and there's probably not a lot of dead air when we're together.
Especially with how hyper I was today.
I think we did good, girl, don't you?
Yes.
Sally says, "Thanks, but so much for getting stuff done today." It happens. Sometimes we just need to take care of ourselves, you know?
Yes.
All right, let's go over and see who's going to win the last jelly roll.
Ooh, drum roll.
Judy Plaster.
Yay, Judy.
So if you will send an email with your address to John at GuysCraft2, we will get that in the mail this week. Get that out. Danielle, I'm going to have a big fancy lunch when we're finished here. I'm going to put steak fries in the air fryer. So my
Ooh,
lunch today is
yum.
going to be French fries.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably just go out there and make me some leftovers or something. I have no idea yet.
Can I tell you, we
But I
went
got
to
to
the
go
park.
next door and help out Grandma because she needs me to fill out some cards for her that she likes to send out. So, let's see, John, I don't know how to do email, so I'll have to get my niece to do it for me later.
That works too. We'll make it happen. When I get it, we'll be all good. No, it's funny because we went to the park home Saturday, stopped and had Starbucks for breakfast, cost me $24, and I thought it was lousy. And then later ordered
$24
pizza.
for Starbucks?
Yeah, because bought someone else's. So, 2 cups of coffee, 2 sandwiches, and that. It's just it adds up, and it's
Goodness
so.
gracious.
And I was like, it wasn't that great. And then later we ordered pizza, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was like 30. I was like, this is why I don't eat out. I mean, it's so seldom that I eat out anymore because it's just gotten so expensive.
Yes, it has. It's like
Sure.
crazy the amount of money that you can spend at a fast food place or whatnot, and not really have much to show for it anymore.
No. I mean, and I sit there and I'm eating it, and it's like, I could have made this better. I could have made it for half price. I could have made it. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I just don't enjoy eating out like I used to.
Yeah, usually whenever we eat out now, we pretty much just order the food online or call it in or whatnot, and then we go pick it up and eat at home. Because I'm like, that way there we can sit in the comfort of our own home, not have to deal with a lot of people around.
Well, I noticed the other day that Walmart now carries Panda Express's orange sauce. So
And I love Panda Express.
So I make my own orange chicken now because I make it with just diced grilled chicken, so I don't have to, because then I don't have all the breading. And then I like to add fresh orange and zest orange and that in it. So I help doctor it up a little bit, and then I make my own stir fry rice, and it's like, okay, that was so much cheaper than if I'd went to Panda, and really just quicker.
See, we pretty much just go to Panda Express on like our birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly like mine and my husband's birthday because it's like one of our favorite places. And
Mine is P.F. Chang's. I love P.F. Chang's, but it's just so expensive.
yeah, I don't think I have a P.F. chain close to me. If I do, I don't know about it. Ever since I discovered Panda Express, I've been obsessed with them.
Oh, no, I get it. I didn't realize P.F. Chang's actually started here in Scottsdale. But well, no wonder we have P.F. Chang's all over the place.
That would definitely explain it.
Dietary Quilter says she likes Olive Garden.
Oh, girl, Olive Garden and Red Lobster used to be my two favorites before the pandemic. And then I discovered Panda Express. I was like, ooh, I love buffets. I love the fact that I could either get the noodles or I can get the greens. Majority of the time, I get the greens.
Oh no, that's too healthy for me.
See, I love broccoli, and the family don't really like broccoli too much. So for me, it works perfectly because that way there I can get my broccoli, and they can get whatever they want, which is usually the noodles.
BBMK, thank you. Hopefully everything goes well tomorrow. We'll see how that works out. It is what it is at this point. I love saying that. So guys, we're at the top of the hour. Thanks so much for being here. Donnell and I had an amazing time together.
Yes. So funny. I planned on working on this, and I got as far as cutting more fabric. And then I switched over to Gnome.
It's hard when you got gnomes sitting on the side not to bring them to the forefront, you know?
He kept staring at me.
Well, guys, as always, thanks for being here. Hope you all have a great holiday. If you are on holiday, if you're retired, I'm jealous. So every day's a
Right?
holiday. But we'll be in touch. When are you back live again, Donnell?
I am live, what is it, Wednesday night at 6 p.m. And I'll be doing my lion this Wednesday.
That's awesome. So Donnell on Wednesday, and I'll be back on next Sunday. So as always, happy crafting.
Bye, guys.